Good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to Rogues Gallery Live. Hey guys, like I said, welcome back to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 111, and this is our interactive collecting chat. Plus, we have a ton of picks tonight and some great conversation with some great collectors, including you in the chat. And so I do want to introduce our crew. As always, we have Mr. Eric B. from All Things Art and my double live unboxing buddy from last night.
Hey, yeah, my Talon neighbor.
That's right, absolutely. And I see that you have him down there.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. I'm still finishing cleaning up down here. It was a mess down here last night. Literally just got home from the gym, ran to get on here, and had to change real quick because I know how much Delaney hates sleeveless shirts on streams. So, I'll make sure I put a t-shirt on.
That's almost wore one.
No sleeveless shirts for Eric B tonight. Oh boy. All right. Well, that is fantastic. We also have Mr. Jeff Morris in the house. How's it going, Jeff?
I'm good. I'm glad I didn't wear my sleeveless shirt because that's what I just had on.
Well, thank God for that. It would have been a whole horror story, I tell you. That's for sure. We also have Mr. Matt T in the house. How's it going, Matt?
Doing well. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing okay. Welcome to the show as always. And last but not least, we have Mr. Jeff Delaney from Secret Sanctuary.
I'm doing good. No one's wearing sleeveless shirts, so I'm okay. Everything's fine.
I think we are a sleeveless shirt entity this evening, so that's good. I've got actually long sleeves to overcompensate. So there you go. Oh boy. So how's everybody doing? How's your collecting week this week?
For everyone else,
not like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just utter. You can actually hear crickets in the background.
Yeah.
Well, but you and Eric have had the week.
That's true. We've had a good week. Of course, Eric and I both got the Talon. You could see back over my shoulder right there. So somebody was asking earlier. They said, "Could you put the knives in these hands?" And the answer is yes. You can put the swords in the hands going forward like that. Yeah. But one goes kind of backward or to the side and one goes straight down. So it doesn't look that great. I don't know if Eric, if you tried to do that or not, but
I haven't tried that. I saw somebody on Facebook did that. It looked okay, but I don't know if you tried it. So how's the connection? Does it feel like it's 30 or?
So the one up front is a good connection. If you take this hand out, okay. This one's a little looser, but again, the problem is that when you put the sword in, it goes it's like straight down.
Yeah.
So you have one going straight down and then one going off to the side like this. So it looks wonky.
The picture I saw on Facebook, he only had it on one hand.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. So anyway, I absolutely love this statue. Congratulations to anybody that's picking it up. Again, congratulations to Eric. I know a lot of people last night in the chat said that they're anticipating it and they've already ordered it. So pretty exciting. Let's see. I think I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I do have the Rebirth Wonder Woman from Prime 1 coming in on Friday. And that one was actually sent by a fellow collector, Joe Latore, who we actually met in New York. Yeah. He wanted me to, he actually sent me his directly from Prime 1 to review it. So I'm excited to see that one in person. So that'll be coming up on the channel. I think that's it for a minute until I get that Dark Knight Returns from Sideshow. I still haven't received any kind of shipping notification at all. So it's clearly going in batches.
Right.
That's it for me. How about the rest of you guys? Anything coming in or anticipating any pieces?
Darkside asked me for my shipping address, so I'm expecting Picard.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Eric,
how's Talon on the bottom shelf back there? Is it okay on the bottom shelf?
Yeah, I'm still gonna raise them up a few inches, but Yeah, I tried him on the middle shelf, and he just barely clears the shelf. So, I mean, in the future, I might move him to the middle, but for now, I'm cool with him down there.
You can see him well enough, even though he's so hunched over so much.
Yeah, so like in my room, like this is like my living room. So when I'm laying on my couches or sitting on my couches, it's pretty much eye level to me. So it's fine.
Got it. Cool.
I was just gonna say, like, going from viewing angle, if you're lower to the ground, it's going to be fine. If you're like in this room, I'm standing most of the time. I'm very rarely sitting, other than if I'm at my chair and desk here. Like for me, I want it up high, and I'll be able to do that. I mean, I feel like it's a good waist up or higher piece. But in your situation where you have your couch and stuff right there,
once I'm sitting, it becomes eye level. So
I was going to say you're at a good optimal angle for you. That's perfect. And also, I know that you mentioned last night. I'll let you plug that one more time, that you are selling your Batman Damned.
Oh yeah, I set them up behind there. All right, so I got Batman. Oh, my thing's blocking.
We can see it in the screen.
Okay, I had the YouTube covering them.
Yeah,
all right, yeah. So Batman Damned is for sale, and I haven't listed anything for sale yet. The Joker mask is still for sale.
So if people want to get a hold of you, how could they do that?
If you're not on Facebook, just email me at itsallthingsart@gmail.com.
Okay. So hit Eric up, and you guys can discuss price and stuff, and hopefully you'll find a new home for those.
I'll probably list them in a day or two in the Facebook groups. I've just been busy, haven't got around to doing that.
Been cleaning up Talon scraps.
Yeah. Repairs.
Yeah. So maybe a Picard coming for you. How about Matt or Jeff? Anything coming your way?
I have nothing coming in, but I have started working on a project to create more space in my room.
Ooh, do tell.
I currently have my room divided into like several sections, including a workout area. And I actually am going to be moving the workout area to a different room to move my desk to a more convenient spot and create some more garage shelving spots. So I'm looking forward to getting that set up. A lot of work to do though for moving everything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, at least this isn't just like one wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to try to... Well, the whole room is going to get kind of shifted around when I do it. So it's going to take some time.
We're going to need another room tour then at some point. That's cool. That's awesome. Well, your last room tour was awesome. I had so many people reach out and it was like, I had no idea that Matt had so much in his room. Like he had, it just seems like you had a lot of really incredible pieces. So that's really exciting.
Thank you.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Well, what else is good? Anything else going on with you guys, or same old, same old?
You know what? I should congratulate Paula, who I think is in the chat. She got Drogon this week, which is an awesome piece from Game of Thrones.
Is that dragon?
Great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did see photos of that. That's awesome. Congratulations again, Paula. Very, very cool. And so speaking of Paula, I do want to say hello to some folks in the chat real quick before we get started. And if you guys have anything that you guys want to talk about, this is going to be kind of a free flow show. Kind of a hangout show as well. So if there's things that you guys want to talk about, please let me know, and we will discuss it as we go. And then, of course, we have a ton of photos to look at tonight as well. So anyway, here we go. We got the last Titan in the house. Thank you for being here. Got Dennis Perez. CC3PO says I'll be stuck in traffic by the time this starts, but I wanted to say hi. Congrats again to Chris and Eric. And Dan, you need that talent. Absolutely, he does. We're going to try to convince him to get that piece. So I'm anxious to. He was going to maybe appear tonight. We'll see if he shows up. And he was going to maybe have a decision made by this time. So we'll see. I got Jeff Gerard in the house. Hey Jeff, Agent 37. We got Michael Dupler in the house. Lane Kramer, Captain Trenchcoat is here. Thank you guys. We got some members here. Ryan as well. Ready for some statue talking pics. Thank you. Got Dylan Hicks, Board Cube 1 of 2. Lots of snow falling here in the Great White North. Man, yeah, we've had a lot of snow here. How about back east? Are you guys getting it right now, or you pretty clear?
It feels like it's been raining for a month straight. It's insane. No snow, just all rain. Everything is rain. I don't know what's going on. No snow this year.
It all came from California, I think. the
It's our
last
fault.
week or so. Yeah, I was gonna say that's usually the way it works. Dick Face Alvaro says, Tesla Dan, after seeing yesterday's Talon unboxing, will you order it or will you stay strong because of space? Time will tell. Got Mike Stainbrook in the house. We got DK, Justin Sports Card Museum, Benny Vogel, another Brotherhood member. Thank you very much, Benny, for being here. Chris and Logan in the house. Thank you, guys. King of Wakanda. Hello, Chris and crew. Brian Dottie. Hello, another member. What's up, Chris and Collector Fam?
Just saw an announcement that's coming out on streaming soon. The Black Panther.
Oh, that's great. That'll be
pretty
it'll
quick.
be on Disney Plus.
Probably, yeah. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
It was good. It was I feel like it was long, kind of long and sad.
Yeah.
But worth at least one watching, I think. I don't feel like it was as good as the first one, but that's to be expected, you know.
Yeah.
Critical Mass in the house. We got Fred Hollis in here. Hello, Bats Joker here. That's awesome. We got Knight. Ronaldo, Brotherhood member. How's everybody doing? We're doing great. Bat Beast in the house. Again, thanks everybody for joining us last night. Got Fatal in the house. Hello to you, another Brotherhood member. Thank you. Keith Reed, doing great. There's Paula right there. Again, congratulations on her new piece. Chris, I've had Talon pre-order with Spec Fiction. Do you know how long it'll take? Generally, it takes longer. I don't know how long. Generally, I have not ordered a piece from them, from that company. So I don't know exactly how long that takes, but I know it takes usually longer. Adam is in the house. Let's see, Julia Rose, thank you so much for all my birthday wishes. It was so amazing to be thought of. Again, Julia, happy birthday. Just awesome. The community is so receptive, and I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. We got Mark in the house. G. Lopez, have you guys checked out the rendering of the Kingdom Come Superman 1/3 scale from Iron Studios? I think I have a photo of that, I think. So we'll talk about that tonight. Kevin Vincent in the house.
Sketch, wasn't it?
What?
It was like a sketch, right? It wasn't a 3D render.
Yeah, it was just a sketch. Yeah, just a sketch. Matt and two Jeffs, Prime 1 Detective regular version is still on Sideshow Seconds. The deluxe was earlier today, but it's gone now. So we were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. We were talking about that, but we felt like the it's nice that it's on sale, but it's over still $500 in shipping. So it's like, you know, a lot of collectors, don't you feel like that's what's stopping them, is that, you know, that 560 or whatever it was, shipping cost.
It's $395 for me, an hour away from Sideshow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm seeing more and more posts in the groups of people canceling items once they get their shipping notice. So on any statue, not just Detective.
Yeah. I quoted out the Wonder Woman vs. Hydra the other day from Prime 1, and economy was $523 to me.
Economy.
Wow.
Economy. And that's to the East Coast.
Did you look up standard?
I can't remember exactly, but it was about between $700 and $800.
Man.
Yeah, I priced out the Bermejo Catwoman, and standard shipping was $30 less than economy.
Yeah,
which was bizarre.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, you'll pay it in the duty fee,
right?
Because Eric and I both paid 80 some for Talon in those fees.
So now, is it only DHL that's doing those fees, or is it FedEx as well? Have you ever received something from FedEx and got charged a custom fee?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's always come DHL, I think.
Okay. There's a theory that FedEx supposedly will not charge you the custom. Like, so my Arkham City Harley came through FedEx and I had no import fee. So
interesting.
Hopefully they use FedEx.
I want to get back to that in just a second. Fatal the Collector, $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Prime 1, Dark Knight 3, and Zatanna DX arrived today. Unboxing soon. That is awesome. So check out Fatal's channel. I'm excited about, especially the. Did you get the black version? I can't remember which one you got. I really like that one a lot. And then Zatanna DX, that's a great piece. So that's obviously the one with the stage. I don't know if there's been any reviews about one with the stage one yet. So that's great. Thanks for the super chat, Fatal. What's going on? Anyway, if I missed you guys, welcome everybody. I hope you're all doing great. Kind of getting the meat of the show here. 160 people watching right now. Thank you guys so very much. If you would do me a favor, hit the like button. That helps us out tremendously here on the show. So the first thing I want to talk about is going back to DHL. So everybody that I know, and both of Eric and I, like we had major holes, damage to our shipper boxes from DHL. So much, which I thought was pretty funny. I actually told my wife this story, and she's like, "Well, that makes sense." Where your theory is that they punch holes in the boxes so then they could help. It helps lift it. You know, it's like
somebody in the group asked. I believe I don't know if you asked the courier or whoever was working at the place, and they said they purposely did that so they can lift the box. They punched like handles into the cardboard box so they could lift it.
Which I get. These are heavy. I mean, it's like, would it be? I don't know. I'm just kind of like spitballing here. Would it be cool if they had some sort of like built-in handles? Like you see, like where there's just like perforations and they have like plastic up and down, like just to kind of be able to put your hand in and lift it. Do you think that would be?
Or they can use their the hand truck on their truck, their delivery trucks, and roll it to your door. Or
well, that's asking too much.
That's a little too much work for them.
Right, that's a little too much work. We don't. I mean, the thing
My
is,
God,
like,
since it only costs $600 to ship it, you really wouldn't want them to worry about not tearing the hell out of it.
I mean, they do have those on the trucks.
That's the thing, is that there are a ton of really great delivery people. I mean, I've had really great experiences, but at the same time, I've had some really, really, really torn up boxes. Almost to the point where like somebody like ran over this thing. It's so beat up. And of course, I don't care if the shipper gets too beat up. I do care for the art box, because I know if I go to sell it, somebody might not want it if it's trashed, and then I even worry more if it's punctured the styrofoam, which I think Eric, yours did.
Yeah.
For your talent, and luckily there wasn't any problems, but
so luckily a lot of his weapons are made out of metal, and where it punctured through the styrofoam was right where all the metal weapons were. So I got lucky, I guess.
Really lucky. Dylan Hicks says, I don't blame them. Stuff is too damn heavy. Let's see. This back at Voodoo said, my talent came today via DHL, half soaked.
Same here. It's been raining a lot.
It's because they hire drop ship carrier locals that don't care. So what does that mean? Drop ship, not.
Yeah. So
delivery people.
He says they're private contractors.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of work around all different delivery, companies, UPS, FedEx, and DHL. So like DHL has lower standards when it comes to hiring their drivers. They'll pretty much just like hire anybody, like I said, like a private courier and stuff like that. So,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, please put your hands together for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dan Default. Or he's just invisible. I'm not sure. There's an empty hotel room. Hey,
Dan's bed.
What is happening, people?
Hello, Mr. Default.
What is happening, people?
You made it.
I made it.
Welcome to the show. We are just talking about the incredibly shitty job that DHL is doing with these Talon boxes.
What is happening? They just don't like them.
I think any box. I had one shipment from DHL like 5 to 10 years ago, and it was like the worst experience having, through a delivery company. So I was like, all right, maybe, that was so long ago, things maybe are better. And then Talon shows up with basically a puncture wound, looked like a forklift drove through the box or something. I don't know.
That's been pretty common. I bet I've got a good solid handful of boxes that have that same kind of tear. And I think you're right. I think that's exactly what it is. It's a forklift nick. Yeah.
We were saying too, like, I don't know if you heard if you were listening earlier, but like, we feel like some people are like doing that so they can lift the lid up, like lift it with the top of the box.
Yeah.
Your box, like a handhold. So what I recommended is it would be cool if like on the side, they had like a little perforation with the plastic clips, where you can actually put your hands in and lift via that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would work or not. Somebody said, get rid of the art box. Yeah. Ryan says, get rid of the art box and use that money to
agree.
give us handles. I mean,
Well, if it's one person,
do you guys care? I mean, like real talk. Do you guys care about the art box?
Not at all.
no.
No.
For the first 5 minutes when I opened it.
Right. I could care less about the art box. It's neat, but I never look at it again. I mean, I don't do anything with it. You know that is a cost.
Oh,
That's somebody that works on their staff.
Yeah.
That designs all that.
Look at Sideshow's new Dark Knight Batman. They put a design on the inside of the box. It's like,
Right.
wow.
Did they really?
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get
worry
that.
about the shipping box so it'll get there without getting broke.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I just care that it's a good shipping container. I do like the Sideshow. It's putting the straps on that piece.
Yeah.
Because that's
I
a
wonder
first for
why.
them.
Yeah, I wonder. You think that's just going to be something they continue, or?
I hope.
I hope
Because
so.
I think everybody says that they like it way better than tape. Hopefully they are listening to feedback. I still stand by, like, to me, XM is the greatest packaging in the country. I mean, in all the companies, like it is.
Yeah.
By far. It's got the heavy duty boxes, which is good and bad because then it does add to the shipping cost, I would think, because it makes it a lot heavier.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
To give you an example of that, the Swamp Thing box shipped, it's 77 pounds. The statue is half of that.
Wow.
That's
Really?
nuts, right?
Yep.
But is it worth it for peace of mind?
Oh, no, totally worth it. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, how many broken XM statues do you see?
Yeah.
Well, mine was, I had to get a replacement.
Damn it. That's a bad example. But I mean, the majority, like, you just don't see breakages very, very often.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is, I think their packaging is second to none. But yeah, I could care less about the art box. If it could save us money or if they could offer a more protected box somehow.
Yeah.
But again, I mean,
No.
the statue companies can't do anything about how the carriers treat the boxes. Like, that's just
True.
But
Did anybody see the post? I think it was the Spec Fiction Facebook group. Somebody had bought that Queen Studios Hulkbuster, and the delivery truck put it on. It had a lift,
Yeah, so
and they put it on it, and let it tilt completely off, and it hit the ground from
Wow.
the highest point.
Wow.
I think-
Broke
is that-
the
is
box, shattered the corner
That's-
of it. It was in that thing that looks like rock bands put their crap in and go on tour with wheels and stuff.
I'm trying to remember who that was. Was it Mr. X?
I think he said nothing broke inside either, right? So
Now there was a
small break.
The person
one
had
break.
some breakage, but it was they just repaired it themselves.
Wow.
Now you know that. How the hell do you do that? I know you're tired and you're tired of this shit and people getting 600-pound boxes, but you know that they paid out the ass to ship that.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is how you delivered it.
they
Yep.
must have forgot there was wheels on it. I think he said it was on a hill and it rolled right out.
Mega Color says, I work for UPS. We get a lot of heavy boxes and they don't have dollies for all the drivers. I have to carry 200-pound boxes up fourth apartment.
Wow.
God bless you. And again, like I said, there's way more really great delivery people than there are not. But it's just like, it is weird that all of us that are getting this talent are all having bad experiences with the boxes. Again, luckily I haven't heard of anybody with breakages, but at the end of the day, it's like you still expect, again, if you're paying, how much do we pay, Eric? We paid $340 or whatever, plus another 80 on top of it.
I mean, I don't know what their rules are, but you can still go out and buy a dolly yourself if they allow that.
I mean, like I haven't, I went out and bought my own dolly.
Yeah.
Because I'm moving boxes around so much. But it's still, it's, I don't know, it's just really frustrating.
It is more
I
work.
mean,
It's a pain in
You
the
could
butt.
get some that are collapsible.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them. You can get them at Costco. The wheels fold up, the thing lifts up, and you It's like a luggage handle. It'll go down to the bottom.
Art boxes useless, handles, and get rid of the tape and do straps instead. I agree. Get rid of the art boxes and give us an art print sign. That'd be cool. They used to do that. That's what they used to do. And I love that. I agree, Edwin. XM is the best at that. Says yes, but it's first class packaging.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to equal out. So if they get rid of the art box but make the actual like the XM boxes being heavier, we're going to pay more money in the shipping. So it's
well, wouldn't you rather have that peace of mind though than?
Yeah, all right. So for the same price, you just get peace of mind, but it's still the same shipping. All right, yeah, I guess so.
Fred says the art box is just as important as a statue inside. Sometimes the box is worth more than actual statue. It adds value to the overall things if you're going to resell it. I do
stop making them at that takes care of that worry.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I think of Jeff and I both got that Harley Quinn life-size bust, and that was one that there was no art box. It was just a brown shipper. Wasn't it? I mean, just styrofoam right inside, right? I mean, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm fine with that. I had no problem with that.
See,
I didn't even notice it. Now you mentioned, I forgot all about it. Didn't have an art box.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what I mean, like, why did those not have? Because I don't think the Joker did either, right, Eric? I mean, it was just a brown box.
Yeah. So I believe all the Sideshow busts they do not come with art boxes.
So isn't that weird? I mean, it's just like, what? Why?
I thought
like,
that one did. No, I
Their
thought the
X-Men
Joker did.
Juggernaut didn't either.
I don't know, it's just weird.
Interesting.
I want to thank 201 people in here right now watching. Thank you guys so very much. That's awesome. Again, please hit that like button. It really helps us out tremendously. And thanks for making this the Wednesday night hangout for collectors. Thank you guys very, very much. Fatal says, yeah, ring my bell. I'll come outside to help you. Yeah, I was going to say, like, 100%. I'd rather you just ring the bell. We'll come out and help. No,
if I catch my UPS driver outside, I go outside and help him because I know how heavy those boxes are. I say, oh, let me get it. I'll get off the truck.
I do the same thing.
Well, if it's 2 boxes, I'll get one. I'll let him get the other one.
Yep.
Batkid Voodoo says mine was intact, but the shipper was so wet it was dissolving. Like that is like that to me. Wet is way worse than a punctured box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's been flooding everywhere.
This is awesome. My UPS guy has my cell phone. We have a good relationship with my deliveries. I'll keep him if he needs it. And so like we tip our guy at Christmas or something like that. Like we want to make sure because like he works his butt off all year, getting as many statues as I do. So
do you guys have the same delivery guy?
I've got the same guy every. I've got the same guy every day.
I don't anymore. One location I used to live at, it was usually the same guy, but not anymore.
Seems to be different all the time.
But we're a small town. I mean, we have a little less than 50,000 people in our town, so I don't know if that makes a difference. There's just maybe not as many drivers, but he just does the same route. I mean, and it's delivered at 9 a.m. almost every time, like almost 9 or 9:30 on the dot. So, it's pretty crazy. Shipping prices go up, but quality goes down. Makes sense. I mean, that's the way it seems. Everyday collector in the house. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Drones would make for better delivery. Imagine the size of that drone for statue boxes. It'd be scary.
A helicopter.
It would be a helicopter. It would be.
No peace of mind in that one.
All delivery companies should hire only big muscle goons like Eric and Matt so that the workers don't complain about the weight. Wow. I love it. We were joking last night that Eric was mistaken for security at New York Comic-Con. So it's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Yeah, without getting too personal, I actually been running a courier business for about 20 years. So I deal with a lot of package deliveries and handling and all that stuff.
So like with the people that you work around, like what's the mentality? It's like, do they get pissed off? Like, do you get pissed off if you have a giant heavy thing, or is it just part of the gig?
I mean, same thing. Going back to like say the hand trucks. There are times where I get lazy. I don't feel like taking the hand truck out, and I'll just try to carry the thing and muscle it to the door or wherever I'm going. So yeah, for the most part, I'm in the city a lot, so these guys are carrying into the buildings, like 30 packages at once. So they always have the hand trucks out, like the large ones, like the large horizontal ones. It's like more like a cart, and they're just pushing them around.
Oh.
But yeah, as far as DHL goes, yeah, I think their standards are pretty low compared to UPS and FedEx.
Well, I mean, again, there's not much we could do. I mean, other than, again, we always go like, just don't buy, but we're buying anyway. And so it's really hard. But again, hopefully they can reconsider maybe some packaging, maybe, like I said, maybe create some handles inside of the boxes to help these guys out, because I don't know if the companies really care or think about the delivery people. But you know, if they are better equipped to handle these things, then maybe they would be a little bit more careful at times. And again, we're specifically talking about DHL tonight. I have not really had bad experiences with UPS or FedEx. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, like I say, it comes down to proper teaching. These boxes are heavy, and I mean, it is a requirement as a delivery driver. You need to be able to lift a certain amount of weight, but I mean, they're awkward, you know, big boxes. You have to learn how to move them down onto a hand truck and take the hand truck and push it to where you got to go.
Yep, absolutely. Anything else you guys want to say about shipping before we move on to topic number 1?
It's weird though. I find most of the damaged boxes I have, the pieces are in perfect condition almost every time, which is very bizarre to me, because I'll have a box that looks perfectly mint and it's broken inside.
That's so crazy.
And I had one of my worst experiences as far as a box. I ordered the Prime 1 Geralt from Witcher economy. It took about 4 months to get it in. When I got it, literally the entire top half of the box on one side was missing, and they just put duct tape all the way around it. Or clear like packing tape all the way around it. And you could see the whole art box and everything. It was like a chunk like this big missing.
Wow.
But the piece was perfect. My UPS driver was the same guy for a while. He comes up, he goes, "I wouldn't accept this, man." And I'm like, I waited 4 months. There's none left. They sold out in shipping. I'll just take it, take my chances. And he was perfect.
That's so crazy. So crazy.
So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's the way it's just physically boxed inside the foam that breaks them.
It's crazy. I feel like I've had a couple of experiences like that where the box has been perfect, but I've actually been really lucky. I think most of us have been. I mean, for as many pet statues as we've had, we haven't had a ton of breakages.
Yep.
Knock on wood. I want to get into topic number 1. So topic number 1 is this: 101 reasons why Dan should buy Talon. So buckle up, guys. We're going to start with number 1, go all the way to 101. I've got my list here. So we're going to go.
I was not briefed on this topic.
Prevention.
Oh yeah. So everybody in the chat was like, you're like, I hope Dan shows up so we could get a live pre-order, and no pressure. So this is kind of a joke topic, but not really in a way, because, we did talk about this last night. Dan popped on for a little bit. So you've had about 24 hours, Dan. Have you considered, have you thought, have we been mentally enabling you from a distance while you've been on business?
It is, Talon is sitting in my cart. One of my tabs here in Safari. I'm having a real hard time. We were talking a little bit in our private chat today about price fatigue, and I've got it, guys.
That's topic number 2.
Sorry. So this is just Talon.
This is just Talon.
Okay, sorry. All right, sorry.
But save it for that, because we're going to talk about that too.
Okay, so the 2 for me right now are completely related. So I have not pulled the trigger yet. I have not pulled the trigger. The total all-in cost for me on that piece is over $1,700. And I'm like, it just makes me cringe. I love it, but he's awesome. There's no disputing it. He looks fantastic. Just being in the stream for a little bit with you guys last night and seeing, like this, all the close-ups that you're doing. I mean, he looks phenomenal. There's no disputing it. It's just a matter of prioritization. It's, we've talked about it so many times, but man, he looks incredible. He's going to be hard for me not to buy. But
I don't even think video does it. I mean, it's so much better in person. I know a lot of statues, it's always better in person, but this one really is like completely different in person compared to like video and pictures.
I got to be honest, I am nervous for you guys with that short peg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that that's how he went into the base.
I did
figured
not-
there would be a big chunk of rock
I
connected to the foot.
thought a rod all the way through. I was shocked when Eric told me the way it pegged in last night. I expected him to say, "Oh, this is a super long peg, and you can tell it goes all the way up." And when he said it only goes to his knee, and Chris said it's only a short peg into the base, I thought, wow, that's now granted, that's not why I'm hesitant. But
I'm going by the sound of the vibration. I mean, it sounded like it ended right where his knee is. I mean,
There is
No,
a
I-
different
I
sound
trust.
between the top and bottom of the leg.
yeah.
So I had a few people reach out to me regarding, like, is he going to lean? You have him now. Do you think he's going to lean? And the same thing I was telling people, the fact that he is heavy, I maybe all right. So maybe they did make him heavy, as long as they make the key area in the base, very thick around like the walls and everything. We get an echo. Let's go.
That's right.
You're okay, Eric. You're okay.
Oh, I heard an echo. And as long as they make the leg entirely solid, then hopefully should be enough to hold everything in place. It's more when the things are hollow and that metal rod can move around a little bit and you get a little bit of shifting. So maybe that's one of the reasons why he is so heavy, and that could be a good sign that it's solid and it's not going to go anywhere.
It also has like this peg type of thing that slides in the back, so it's it's there to buffer it. So I do feel like this one will be fine. I feel like the ones that have leaned the worst are the ones that have the heavier capes, or something where it's pulling. So
Yeah, but he's leaning. It's like it is pulling on him.
He's pulling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's a good point. I mean, I guess
It
in
just
5
makes
years, Dan will go, sucker.
Yeah.
You guys bought that damn thing.
It just makes me nervous because it's not talked about too loudly, but Prime One's had some problems lately with leaning.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, the thing is, like, it's difficult because their customer service is difficult because they're way far away from most of their buyers. So if I'm a buyer in the US and I contact them, they're not going to say send it back. They're going to say we'll offer you $80.
Right.
Which is BS, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Awful.
And in some cases it's been fine. Like it'll, but like I have had some replacement pieces sent to me directly from them.
Yep.
I specifically remember like the long wand on my Deathstroke. So I mean, so they have sent me replacement parts. They sent me the dome for Nora, for Mr. Freeze that broke. But when it comes to a whole statue replacement, it's just not happening. And so when you get a lien after 6 months, they're not going to take that back. They're not going to, what are they going to do for you?
Well, it used to be more like we used to see liens coming from like other countries, like where it's more humid, and they don't have the proper climate for statues, and just the elements of the environment were contributing to making it lean. But now it's, I mean, Chris, your Batman Hush has a little bit of lean, and you keep it temperature controlled down there, right?
Yeah, it's cold. I mean, it's cold in here.
So it's strange.
But again, like it's one of those things where it wears out the bottom peg. So like where the foot pegs in, you can see like when you take it out, or if you move it a bunch of times, it wears away the polystone. So it wears away that peg. So what I think what they could do is if they filled the holes with some sort of metal support inside of the hole,
like a sleeve. Yeah,
like a sleeve.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just bare polystone.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could do that easily too. I don't know why they don't.
So I think in pieces that could be questionable, i.e. Talon, those pegs should be filled somehow with something that would help stabilize that so it doesn't wear and warp the polystone itself.
That's exactly what's happening. It's warping.
But there's no question. And some of the hushes look great. I think Dan, yours stands up straight.
Fine. Yeah, he's fine.
But I've seen, numerous collectors that have the same problem as I do. There was also the lean, if you remember, with the original Hush. So much that they actually came up with a pillar.
Yeah, separate piece.
Superman Hush. A lot of them are leaning.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
They're
seen some
Supergirl
photos
as
of
well.
them too.
Yeah.
Are there any problems with Detective 1000?
I have not had any, and I don't foresee any because the cape is not polystone. You know, the way the feet are positioned, you know, they're stable, they're flat-footed, and the cape is light. You know, he is not nearly as heavy, nearly as heavy as the Hush is. The Hush cape is really heavy.
Yeah.
Really heavy.
Even
Eric, was-
Batman. Who's that, Dan?
Yeah, didn't you posted something not too long ago about how straight up and down the 1000 was or not?
Yeah, I noticed in some pictures he looked a little crooked in collectors' photos. So I don't know what's happening there.
I don't know. Mine's fine. After you posted that, I took a real hard look at mine, and I actually took like a ruler and just kind of put it there. I'm like, are my eyes tricking me or not? And he's perfectly straight.
Yeah, mine is fine too. It was only like
mine's
one or
fine.
two that I seen that it just looked a little crooked for some reason. I don't know why. And
Um,
it wasn't like the photo, because if you looked at like the base, like I drew the line for you guys, like if you look, if you followed like the window and the emblem and like centered everything else looked fine. But then like Batman had like a slight lean to him. And these are statues that just came in, not like something that happened over time. So not sure why they're arriving like that. Maybe when the waist keys in, it's not sitting properly for some people. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the waist keys into the legs. So could be an issue there or something. I don't know.
Thomas says some of these statue companies need to have an engineer on staff to quality check the integrity of their statues. I would imagine that they do some of that. But the problem is yeah, and the problem is like you can't test something for 5 years. You can't see if it's gonna eventually lean or the silicone's eventually gonna wear away. Like these are just risks that you have to take as a collector. And unfortunately, these things happen. I mean, I don't think Prime One's ever like, we're going to make this thing lean. I mean, that's not their intention, but
well, I think they do keep an eye on
they just don't know what's going to happen.
Like these statues, like when they go through prototype phase, they're like years ahead before we even see it. So I'm sure they keep an eye on it to see if there's anything wrong with them. And I'm wondering if that's maybe what happened with Talon, if they were just keeping an eye on him, and that's why it took so long to see if it was going to lean or not.
It could
or
be.
Maybe it did lean and they had to go back and do something. I don't know.
It could be. And again, I'm optimistic because there's nothing. I just don't feel like there's a ton of weight pushing down on him. Like I feel like gravity is where his leg is.
Well, he's pretty heavy. Did he just freeze?
Yeah, he just froze.
Right. Well, Talon is one heavy sucker as far as the body goes.
That's funny. It doesn't look like that.
He is heavy. Like if you look at like say like Detective 1000 Batman, he's like he's pretty light for 1/3. Talon on the other hand, he feels like he's rock solid. Like he feels like he's a good 15-20 pounds just on the body, which is, like I said, surprising.
I'm trying to think of some of the more dynamic sideshow statues. Like the Rogue that they did where she's out over the danger room. Stuff.
Yep.
You'd think, I have never heard of any issues with that. I know they've done a couple of Spider-Man statues that are highly leveraged with pegs and that kind of stuff, and I can't remember any leaning it. Have there been any sideshow issues around that?
Spider-Man. I've got the Spider-Man where his hand is on the girder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's completely horizontal above that. No problem at all.
They actually showed behind the scenes on that one. So that one, the peg runs up his arm and actually into his shoulder, like into his chest. It curves into his chest and down his arm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and on Rogue, where her hand connects, it's actually metal.
Yes, and it's very hard to get it in the peg, and it's solid. I don't think I could actually take her apart, to be honest. Like I'm afraid I'll break her hand trying to take her apart.
They were super transparent about that one when it came up for pre-order, how they were making it work.
Oh wow. Yep. It's cool. It's well done.
I'm an electrical engineer and I work for Prime One. Well, that's pretty awesome. Give us more. Give us more. Tell us about Prime One. We'd like to hear it.
Is Talon going to lean?
Yeah, I was going to say, is Talon going to lean? I mean, I think maybe, Eric, you're right. That maybe that's why it took longer. I know that they had factory issues, obviously, during COVID.
Going back to like what I was telling Dan when you froze, like he is so heavy. Maybe they just made him so solid that there is going to be no shifting at all. He's so solid that it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that. Yeah, California's treating me well. I'm flying back tomorrow. So, back amongst my collection.
That's good. Well, sorry, we got off on a little bit of a tangent there with the shipping and impromptu. And so, with that said, we'll go back to topic number 2. And as Dan mentioned, price fatigue is one of the reasons why Dan it sounds like you're opting out of Talon, at least at this time.
I am for right now.
So obviously this is something I think Eric coined the phrase in our private chat today, is like, don't we always talk about this topic? But it's like, we talk about the same things because there are things that affect us. They affect the community, constantly. And just when we think it's the worst it can get, never mind.
It's worse.
Turn the page, it's worse.
Yeah.
But we're still suckers and we still keep buying, although selectively.
Yep.
Well, that's the one change I've seen. Like I said, we talk about this a lot, and people always say, well, if you keep paying, then they're going to keep charging you. And I'm starting to see, like I said earlier, more and more posts of people saying, I canceled last minute once I got the shipping notice. There's no way I was paying that shipping. So that could be a good thing. Maybe statue companies will take notice.
Well, you know what it is? It's one thing, and Chris, I think you mentioned this, I don't remember which show, but recently, where you said it's not just one or the other where the prices are going up significantly. It's both product and shipping.
Right.
And it becomes, we're looking at, 1/3 statues like Talon that, $1,150, which, by the way, for a 1/3 these days isn't the end of the world. But when you talk about for me, it's $384 in shipping, and I'm sure it's $80 in customs fees, and all of a sudden it's a $1,700 statue. It's like, okay, so where's your tipping point? And for me, on that piece is kind of like, I feel like it's over my tipping point, and it just causes me real pause. It's not that it's not awesome. It's not that I wouldn't for a minute have it in my collection. I definitely want it. It's just, it seems like it's a bridge too far, and I feel like I'm going to not feel as good about it if I do buy it. Like I will have overpaid,
Right. Well, Jeff actually sent this to us in our private chat today. So this is the global container freight rate index from January of 2019 to November of 2022.
This is telling.
You could see it, the massive spike in 21. Obviously, that is when we heard about all those shipping cargo containers. No one could get cargo containers. It was just insane. And so, what is this, Jeff? What does this chart tell you about shipping?
Well, it's come right back down to where it was before all this started. So we should be seeing more reasonable shipping rates, and we're not.
So, before they were saying, well, this is the shipping container cost, so then that way we have to then reflect it, down the chain. The companies don't want to eat that cost, obviously.
Yeah.
And so, I thought that, like you said, that's very, very telling. And thanks for providing us that, Jeff. So again, price fatigue. We're to this point, like you said, that we have all of these prices going up. The shipping cost is, in my opinion, absurd. It's just absurd. I don't know any other word. Maybe the asinine. That we're to a point and I'm complaining about a $560 charge for Tech 1000. And then you hear people overseas where they're having to pay $1,000 or more or whatever. It's just like, how does any company expect to survive?
Yep. And
at this rate?
Chris, and you know what? The question I've been kind of asking myself, Talon for me is a real, I feel like it's just a real, I don't know. It's a significant point for me in my collecting journey, right? I haven't hit this point in the past. You and I both kind of swallowed hard on the shipping price for Batman White Knight on bike.
Oh my God. Yes, we did.
Wanted to throw up. But for me, that was an anomaly. This seems like this is becoming the norm. So what I've done, and Jeff Delaney's made really great points about this in recent shows, recent months, around could I find the same kind of enjoyment with a different collectible, like say a quarter scale that ships from Sideshow for $105 or something, and find the same level of enjoyment in that piece as I would with that talent piece, right? For half the money, or $780 plus $80 shipping, and that's those are the questions that are running through my head, especially. We're looking at Tweeterhead. We know are coming out with a whole, slate of really exciting pieces.
Yep.
The other companies are making quarter scales, and so that's for me. It's just kind of causing me to take a step back and really evaluate: do I want to continue to go down, particularly the 1/3 piece where the boxes are so giant and heavy, and we know the shipping is crazy, and it's caused me pause. It's not causing me to stop collecting. It's just a matter of, okay, how do I want to focus my collecting? Where do I find the enjoyment?
And you have to shift. Like Iron Stark says, these prices almost make me want to go back to 1.6 because at least I know I won't pay $300 plus for the shipping. At least we hope.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, it might get to that, it's just crazy. The disappointing thing for me is, sorry, Eric, go ahead.
No, I just reminded before I forget. So if you have a local comic book shop that deals with statues, like I have one near me, you don't have to pay for shipping.
Correct.
And you pick it up from the comic book store.
That's true.
The thing is that
they don't get exclusives. That's the only
there's not a ton of comic book stores that provide these. Most of the ones that I go to, there's some. They'll have like some Diamond Select type of things, maybe, but they don't have a lot of big stock because a lot of the casual person in their town doesn't go and spend $1,000 on a statue. They certainly would not in my town. Like they would never. They would sell maybe one a year, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have anybody that carries Prime 1.
Right.
No.
Me, the money is just Sideshow mostly.
Now that Elite Comics in Kansas City that I visit, again, that's my closest one. That's a really good shop. Yeah. And they had like the Batman Who Laughs there, and they've had some great great Sideshow pieces, Iron Studios pieces. And I have seen some people in there buying them, but a lot of times you see the same ones in there for years because again, people just don't have the money to do it. If you're just a regular person going into a comic book shop, unless you are a hardcore collector, and every once in a while somebody will bite, but and I agree. I think, and I love the idea of supporting your local comic shop. If you do have a comic book shop, like, I've had some great ones in Florida when I visited, by all means, like buy from them. Sometimes they are very fair with price. Sometimes I've seen them mark them up quite a lot.
Oh, I've seen them mark them up.
So, I mean, that's the only downside is that
they are well charging shipping costs on top. So they're getting their money back.
That's a good point.
I think it's a real thin margin from Sideshow too.
Yeah, right.
It is from my understanding, but most of the stuff it's you just assume you're going to pay it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Eric,
right.
I noticed that Midtown Comics, they used to charge retail for Sideshow stuff.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while you'd get that 25% off coupon. I got some good pieces from them.
Oh, yeah.
25%.
Yeah.
Well, now they're not doing that anymore. Now they're charging at least 10, if not 15% above retail for all their Sideshow stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have, I'm out in New Jersey now. I have a friend that owns a comic book store, Conquest Comics in New Jersey, and he gets in, Sideshow pieces. And it's been a while since I purchased a statue through him, but if I did have to, I could pre-order a statue through him for actually a little bit cheaper than retail. Not much, say like $30 cheaper, and there would be no shipping charge. So, I mean, that might have changed. I'm going back maybe like 5 years, but that's how it was back then. It was actually the only thing was that they never get the exclusives, and I always wanted the exclusive edition. That was the only downfall. But if Sideshow keeps making these statues without the exclusives, and I think I'll know what I'll be doing if those prices are still the same and I can get a better deal at the comic book store.
Sure.
Sideshow seems to be charging. I just saw that comment you just passed, Chris. And Sideshow is definitely charging full retail shipping. They're keeping the margin, which is their prerogative.
Sure.
They don't have to pass on the discount that they get, and they clearly have changed that.
And that's why I wanted to go back to the Bat Kid Voodoo's comment. It's like, I canceled Joker Dragon because of Prime 1 shipping only to reorder via Sideshow. That doesn't make it better.
No, not sometimes it makes it worse.
It sometimes makes it worse. Sometimes you can get it cheaper from Prime One, which is insane.
Yep.
But like you said, clearly Sideshow has changed how they're doing their shipping. Because again, like, you know, it used to be very affordable. I mean, that's why I always ordered through Sideshow, because it didn't matter to me if the price was the same in another place. I always knew that in the old days, they weren't charging tax, which made a giant difference.
Yep.
And then second,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then second, the shipping was going to be affordable. Like, it was going to be decent. Like, you knew that if you bought a premium format, you were going to pay $30 or $40.
Yep.
Well, you remember my theory. My theory is that Sideshow has made the business decision to try to keep their statues, their premium formats in the $600 to $650 range.
Right.
Other companies, I think, have incorporated the higher shipping costs into the price of the statue. I think Sideshow is passing on the cost of getting the statue to them from China into their shipping rate. And that's why it's going up so much. And that's why it's sometimes more to order a Prime One piece from Sideshow than from Prime One. Because if you order from Sideshow, you're paying for it to come from Prime One and then again from Sideshow to you.
Yeah.
So that's my guess as to what's going on with Sideshow and shipping.
Yeah.
So do you feel like Sideshow should change that? Do you feel like they should increase their price a little bit and lower the shipping cost? I mean, because I feel
What's
like
the difference? What's the
I
difference?
know, but it's like, it's one of those things where I hear so many people say, I've canceled because of the shipping. It doesn't matter what product. It doesn't matter whether it was Batman versus Joker Dragon that's, you know, almost $2,000 or a $600 Sideshow statue. I'm seeing it both ways. I'm seeing both people say, I don't know if it's just perception. Like, would it be better to say, okay, well, now the statue's $700 instead of $600, but shipping's cheaper? I don't know if people would be more willing to accept that.
Yeah, but if you go back to the graph with the shipping rates coming back down to what they were pre-pandemic, why aren't we?
Good question.
Why aren't those rates going back?
Because we paid it.
Yeah, exactly. It's taxes, right?
Taxes profit margin.
Down.
I think we all need to like email the company and just mail them this graph.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's go the other route, and we've talked about it a little bit here, is that I personally think that these companies are hurting.
I think so too. Yeah.
There is no question that people have dropped off. People have dropped off collecting, especially the high end, stuff with the economy and things like that. I see it every single day in the groups, or I have people message me every single day, asking me questions about this stuff. And it is one of those things where I feel like the companies are hurting. They are still trying to break even to where they were before. I mean, it's like they don't want to take a giant hit, but they want to stay afloat. I mean, you've seen, like, I feel like Sideshow's majorly retooled some of their, like their online or their live entertainment and some of that stuff. A lot of the shows they've been promoting, or they don't air. So I think there's a lot going on. I feel like there's, been people coming and going, restructuring. I think that's the word I was looking for, restructuring. Because of that, I think they've had to make some tough choices. When times are good, but when times are bad, you have to make some tough decisions. Do you guys feel like that's kind of what's going on with the reason why maybe some of these companies are shifting to maybe charging more, or, making some differences?
I do, but I tell you, I think it's pound foolish. I'm not sure it's a strategy that's going to pay off, right? Because if I can understand what they're doing, but it seems a little bit reflex or knee-jerk kind of reaction, right? Because what you're doing is you're alienating your core customer base, right? Your core customers who buy at a certain volume predictably and regularly, like us, like the guys on this chat, right? What you alienate them, and you start to deteriorate that base. The casual collector that's kind of in and out, that sometimes buys and sometimes doesn't, there's a big difference between eating into your core customer base and just the casual collectors. And I feel like they're alienating people like us. And
I don't feel like, and again, I'm not speaking for every company, but I do feel like, I feel like they do not care about us right now.
Big mistake.
Do you know how long it's been since I've seen a Sideshow piece that I've been like, ooh, I have to have that? Yeah. It's well over a year, because they're not making it.
Well, Sideshow hasn't even been putting up all their pieces for pre-order yet.
No.
That Spider-Man that Daniel Bell did last, what was it, San Diego?
Oh, that one's not up yet?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I've been keeping an eye out for it because
Huh.
personally I was interested in getting that trio, but I'm kind of like in that fence. Well, if they're not going to put them up, I'm not sure if I want to get them all.
And the Pattinson on bike.
Yeah, that one just completely disappeared.
That was weird. I was
It is weird, and I and you know we were gonna do you know, something with Matt Black here on the channel, and obviously he's left Sideshow now, so that won't happen. That was something that we were gonna do after some conversations this summer, and you know, talk about that piece and promote that piece, but it has just disappeared, and I really do think it's going to come down to like, will people buy it because of the cost of it? It is risky, you know, some of these bigger pieces. It's just, it is difficult because I can see why they don't care about the core collectors right now. Again, we are not the priority. They are just trying to make it. And they have to target that audience that's willing to spend 20, 30 bucks on something or $100 on something versus $2,000 on something. Because there's way more of those people, casual or not, that are going to keep them afloat.
Is that true though? You think?
Well, I think that's their thinking. I think that's their mentality.
I don't
like,
think it's going to work out for them.
I don't think that's.
I don't either in the long
Because
run.
those people are going to buy that $20 and $30 crap at Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just being devil's advocate. I feel like that's what they're thinking.
I
But
think that's a losing strategy.
Dan, I know we've talked a lot. We've questioned a lot of the decision making over the years. And it's never more evident right now that things are maybe not going great. And I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like there are a lot of us in the community.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you look at how many members are part of our groups. I mean, there's, tens of thousands of collectors, and I see people buying constantly. So I know it all trickles down from the price of the factory, because the factory jacked up all their prices, you know, to how much they charge per prototype, paint and everything else. It just trickles down. And of course it always ends up in, you know, out of our wallets.
I think that I go back to core customers. And when I say core customer, I mean people like us that buy frequently, right? But they shouldn't be, at least in my opinion, so dedicated to the collector that buys one or two pieces a year, right? We're this group of us. We are people that have, average out how many pieces do you buy in a year, right? You buy, you sell, you move it around, right? It is truly a collecting hobby,
right?
And I feel like them eating into that group is deeply problematic, like deeply, right? They're not going to make the money on the casual collectors. They're not going to make the money on the people that buy the Hello Kitty purse, every once in a while. Or don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure there's business to be had there, but I got to believe that, what was the core and what grew Sideshow was, the statues and selling them at volume at a good price, and building the community and all of that. And that's what got these communities going. I mean, I think Sideshow's right at the core of that. And now I don't know. I'm hoping that what they're doing with Tweeterhead is a good move. I'm optimistic or hopeful for what they're going to do with Tweeterhead.
Well, weren't those prices high? Like the Joker came out and like the price was really high, but then like chat honored the $25 shipping. But at the time when the invoices went out, it was pretty high.
I think that piece was maybe a bit of an anomaly in of itself, right? Yeah, the chair and all, the size of it and like that. Yeah. That can't be every quarter scale that comes out.
That's true. It wasn't a good start though.
No, exactly.
Fabian says we're talking about shipping again. Well, it all comes down. I mean, it's either shipping or cost of the statue. I mean, that's the thing.
The problem is it's both.
I want to ask you guys.
It is.
I've personally been eyeing a lot of pieces, not to say Sideshow or Prime 1, but like XM is a big one, where a lot of your retailers will include shipping for free, they quote, but the piece is marked up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, and I've been gravitating towards that because at least I feel like I know my total at the day I order.
Yeah.
Versus being surprised a year or two later.
That's true. Yeah.
I'd rather pay that extra $100 up front, knowing it's not going higher than this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had someone in the group this week that had that the big bad toy store because they charge
Yeah.
the $4 flat rate shipping. They were like, well, the statue, no, that they were like, the shipping is so much cheaper there, but the statue is like $500 more than retail. They mark up the statues and then charge you the cheaper.
Some
shipping.
of them are like that one was a bad example of.
Some of them are, but
really
I mean,
marked
when
up.
you
Some
look
are
at
actually
what the
reasonably
shipping is
marked up.
now, it could be cheaper than you would pay.
That is a good point, though. At least you see the price up front with that, but I don't know. I guess it's a gamble.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a depressing topic, but it's the reality, I think, of the hobby right now.
It's been influencing my personal collecting lately.
Yeah.
I think we need to protest.
I'll say one thing for Sideshow. We've seen 2 pieces so far this year, and they're both pretty darn good.
They're great. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they're great. Yeah. Yeah.
They just have to, like you said, they have to keep us, because if we are long haulers, like we've been in it for a long time.
Yeah.
But I am seeing long haulers get out. And if there's not long haulers, because you're not going to keep people 10 years in with Hello Kitty purses.
No. You're
No.
not.
I got a great deal on a lounge fly bag during Christmas. I
really again, it's cool that they offer all of that. You know,
really
it is good.
It is, but
It is great. And I'm
But,
I'm happy for them.
yeah.
But
and that is stuff that you can buy from a million other places
Oh, yeah.
online.
Get it anywhere.
I mean, my Facebook feed, I get those lounge fly things. You could buy that crap. You could just shut your eyes and Google. And
Yeah.
Brendan, I think they are an official distributor. You know, they get a cut of every statue, and that's just the way it works. So they are an official. You know, but it's up to Sideshow what they carry. Like they did not carry Talon, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why.
Prime One might not have offered it to them.
They might not have. There's
Yeah.
been a number of them. The Chun-Li, the
Yeah.
Street Fighter Chun-Li was not available at Sideshow.
You can't even buy it from Prime One direct if you're in the US.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And so I don't know why there's certain pieces that Sideshow doesn't carry, and there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes it's up the same day, sometimes it's 7 months later. When it went up for pre-order, it's very strange. I think it's probably a little give or take. Obviously, Prime One wants to sell as many as they can from their own site, so they don't have to pay a cut.
Yeah.
So if, like, let's say there's 1,000 of this statue,
sure.
and they've sold
Yeah.
500, but they still have 500 left, then they say, okay, Sideshow, you can now sell it.
Yeah.
For the 500 we have remaining, but
Yeah.
but the Sideshow's going to take 50% of that cut.
Yep.
And so I think that's why
distribution.
it's just distribution. I mean, it's just
that's
business. It's just
Yeah,
business.
exactly. Yeah.
And so I think that's why there is that delay. I think the Prime One probably just waits and sees how well they sell. And
Exactly.
you know, I mean, with Talon, that's not a good example because there's only 350. I mean, that's a super low ES. But I mean, they are obviously happy enough with it to have it made, and so they could have easily said, "Nah, never mind, we cancel it."
You know, the hard part is you're not only are they potentially eating into their long haulers, as you said, like, you know, people that just are walking away. I still love the hobby, and I don't tend to walk away, but the dangerous line that they're walking is they're changing habits potentially of long haulers, right?
Right.
My view, you know, I'm looking at changing my habits. I'm not planning on buying nearly as much as I have in the past from a volume standpoint. You know, I saw Eric, you know, it was either this week or last, made a really, I felt, compelling comment to a collector, like, be happy, enjoy what you have. You know, and I'm doing more of that, kind of sitting back, enjoying what I have a bit more and not worrying so much about what's next. And that's easier to do when both pricing and shipping are out of hand, you know, just easier to do.
I think some of that is helpful that we kind of recommend ordering more in stock now.
Yeah.
Whereas the excitement was in that pre-order and, you know, all of that stuff. And I still do that as well, but I feel like I have slowed down in that as well. But I feel like that helps a little bit because then it does help you, like you said, sit back and just say, okay, man, look at all these amazing things I've got around me.
Yeah.
When you're always like, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And I'll be the first to admit that I'm really bad at that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
As I'm sure we all are. We're all like, I know you're like Delaney is chomping at the bit to get that Picard. Like, I know, like it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
But it is important that we sit back and enjoy what we have. But I feel, I mean, I had some people comment earlier. It's like, I'm new to the hobby and I feel bad for them because this is such a crappy time to get in.
It is.
Yeah.
But the art is the best it's ever been. Like, that's the thing is like the art is outstanding. The talent of these artists, outstanding. But the cost is just, again, asinine. It's just ridiculous.
That's actually a really good point. The product in and of itself, almost across the board, has gotten better.
Yeah.
Like significantly better. And not that it was bad before, it's just gotten better. And so from that standpoint, that's a big positive. But and that's, I think, what keeps us interested at all, to be honest with you. At least for me, that's the case. It's just so good.
There is no question that the price fatigue is here to stay. I feel like, we've been saying it for a year and a half now, that you really have to be really selective on what you're getting, which does suck. Cause again, I know that there's that FOMO. Some people spend beyond their means. I've seen it in the community where we're like, it's just, I'm not going to get it. And then a week later I bought it cause I was worried that I was going to miss out. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And this is I don't know. This is not a necessity. This is stuff we don't need. It's all luxury. Spend the kind of money on this stuff. But I don't know. You guys want to say anything else about this topic? I mean, we could probably talk about it for 3 hours and just go round and round and round.
I think we beat that horse sufficiently.
Until next show.
Yeah. Ryan says probably not a bad time to buy some older pieces that people want to get rid of, though.
Yeah.
Especially if they are getting a piece.
I'm selling Batman Dam.
I'm selling Batman Dam.
I mean, that's the thing is
totally right.
I'm selling them for $1, but shipping out.
$1. But he's exactly right. Like, I've seen a ton of collectors with a giant list.
Oh yeah.
That they're out. I mean, out for real. Like, they are literally selling their entire collection.
Yep.
And the list is 20, 30 deep.
Yep.
And some prices have been really stupid. Like, it's been like, I can't believe they're asking that much. Or on the other hand, they're clearly trying to move. I mean, they're trying to move the stuff. I know, like, Dan, when you've sold some stuff recently, you had some great prices on that. And again, $1 for this Batman from Eric. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, $1. How much was shipping on that again, Eric?
$19.99.
Yeah,
just for tonight.
QVC. Yeah, there you
go. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point. This is a great time to go back and get some old pieces. And we're talking about new pieces being so great, but man, there's a ton of really great older pieces as well.
Absolutely.
Again, Sideshow has been the best in the business for a very, very long time. They still make incredible product. They still make incredible statues. And I know, like, when we saw Daniel Bell in his acceptance speech, that made me excited because I'm like, well, they're still working on a lot of stuff. And I know that they want to bring it to us. Maybe they're not bringing it to us quite like we want them to bring it to us in terms of rollout, in terms of, like, 12 days of Sideshow and things like that. But at the end of the day,
12 days of Sideshow.
Oh yeah.
You understand that we're having an event this week?
It's a first.
Yeah. Can you tell? I mean, other than a 10% discount, how is this an event?
Yeah.
Well, again, it kind of goes back to the mess that's going on right now. If you're part of the Let Your Geek Sideshow groups, so they were going to have all these live shows. They were going to have these live things, and people are waiting for them, and then they just don't come on. And people are like, "Well, there's another one. There's another one." So not a good sign. Like something is not going on there in their social media type thing. Again, what would have been hard about 12 days of Sideshow? There's no live content. There's no nothing. It's literally just a graphic every single day for 12 days to drum up excitement. You do not need somebody on screen playing bingo
Yep.
to give out reward points. You don't need any of that. Yes, it keeps some of the casual collectors engaged. I get that. But I don't feel like they need it. They didn't need that stuff. They needed, I mean, they used to have one show a week on Wednesdays.
Yep.
Maybe they lost some workers. I mean, they did let go of, who was that, Amy?
And they did, Eric. But what I'm saying is, like, they don't need all of that, like 15 live shows a day. Like they don't need all that. They just need to do things to create excitement, to drum up excitement for the things that they're coming out with.
And how many of us actually watched the bingo things and those shows like that? Because we knew there was nothing we wanted to see.
Yeah.
We didn't, because we saw the writing on the wall with the old show. It was Susan, and it was about the product. It was showing what the product was.
Yep.
And somebody talking about it that knew what they were talking about.
Right. They had, they did have some celebrity guests every once in a while, but it was still primarily about the product. Whereas this stuff, the stuff that they've had the last couple of years, it's been okay, but it's more about hanging out and having fun. And that's fine, but they are also a statue company that wants to sell statues.
They had an evening broadcast in one of their recent events a few months ago with, who was the woman who left?
Autumn
read an epic poem for a very, very long time. I mean, she read an epic poem. It went on and on and on and on this Sideshow stream.
What the hell?
It was
Who's
the
that catering
most
to?
bizarre thing I'd ever seen in my life. It had nothing to do with anything.
Now, I don't fault Autumn, because I'm sure she was told that you're going to do 15 live shows this week. And it's doing a live show. You guys know it's hard to come up with topics. It's hard to come up with things. Like Eric said, we talk about the same thing because it's hard. Like, it's like we want to talk about this stuff, but it's also hard to come up with things that are new.
Right.
Dude,
So I don't necessarily fault Autumn or Paul. I just feel like it is the current direction. And I feel like I didn't feel like they knew what they were necessarily doing then, and necessarily definitely not now. But maybe they're trying to figure it out. Maybe they're trying to get their ducks in a row.
I hate to sound like an old fogey, but the best shows they did, to me, the best content they did were those original shows that Susan did from that conference room that she was in. She was at a conference table. She had the statues behind her. Mm-hmm. Those were the best shows that they've ever
and had the people in that made them.
Yeah, exactly.
That could talk about it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, like Paula just said, cut to the crap. That's what that was. It was cutting to the crap. It was just saying, this is what it is. We're excited. We're all nerds together. We love this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't have to sugarcoat it. We didn't have to go any further than that. And there was still every single week, there were hundreds and hundreds of people watching that show.
Yep.
And I know that they've got some people that could fill that role and do the same type of concept. But
why don't they listen? Or engage with the community? And
no,
I don't know.
That's frustrating.
I don't know. I mean, and there are a lot of people like you and me. I mean, there's a lot of us out there that would love to do something like that. They would love to interact with the community that way. But again, push the product.
That's it.
That's the thing. And I mean, it would be really difficult though if I was hired by Sideshow. It'd be hard for me to push the Hello Kitty person.
Yeah, but Susan never did that crap. She was always
because they weren't selling that then.
The statues and the 1/6. I remember her doing.
Right, but they weren't selling all that other stuff then. There was very occasionally they would sell some vinyl something.
But they never even featured the smaller stuff though, Chris. Like on the smaller trinkety stuff, not the Hello Kitty stuff, but even like the real small stuff. She never talked about those. She talked about the PFs, the quarter scales, and she talked about the 1/6. Oh, and I think they did hot toys as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But
they sell a lot of hot toys.
They do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like they were doing like all the posing hot toy shows. Like, I mean, I know some people watch those, and I don't know if they still do those anymore.
Nope.
Do we know if they've like, is the shipping jacked on those things as well? The smaller packages? I mean, those are pretty small, like packages, right?
I don't know.
It's been a long time since I've ordered one, but
I was just going to
I'm
say,
sure
Jeff,
they're passing it on.
Jeff, do you collect the hot toys anymore?
The last couple I bought in a store. Happened to see them. I got Pennywise from the It movie. I saw it. You know, I was able to pull the slip cover off and you could see it.
Right.
I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on Mads. It says Amy is by far the best host and most knowledgeable. I would agree with that. She is phenomenal. She knows her shit. She's absolutely fantastic. I don't know why she isn't.
Why did they not let some of the other people go and keep the one that knew that could do this?
She might have left on her own volition too. So,
well, I think Amy's still there.
I was gonna say I don't think Amy's gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen her on much. I mean, that's the thing is it's been real hit or miss. So I mean, could they go back to a
coming up?
I mean, could they go back to a Sideshow Live type of format with her? Absolutely.
Well, I see that job as a job that comes and goes. It's not something you like sit there and make a career out of for the rest of your life. So
it has to be. It's got to be for her because she hasn't done anything in a long time.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, every single time we see a Prime One thing, it's a new host. Like it's, they keep shuffling through. It's like these are not necessarily long-term things.
Yeah.
But that's the hard part is because with Susan, it was a long-term for her. She was the host for a really long time, and she was Sideshow to me.
Yeah, me too.
She felt like a collector.
Yeah,
she did.
She did cosplay at all the conventions. She just felt like one of us.
Because and she still does that today. Like if I follow her on Instagram and she still does all that.
Yeah, so the on-air personalities of Sideshow now are actors and actresses from LA.
Yeah.
Now, remember that time?
That's how it comes across.
I'm washing the dishes and I'm listening to remember that show Timeless? I don't know if you remember that or not. And I hear a voice from the show. And oh my God, it's Plaid Shirt Guy from Sideshow.
It's Plaid Shirt Guy.
Playing a bit part in Timeless. Yeah, that's what those folks are. They're actors from.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I feel like it's overproduced. It doesn't feel natural or real the way it did with Susan.
It never felt real.
Yeah.
And people see right through that. Dan Blaster says, I wonder if they're
a show about teenagers from people that are not teenagers.
Yep. Dan says, I wonder if they're relying on people like yourselves to showcase their products and news saves them from doing it themselves.
I've said that for years. It's free advertising.
Good point. Yeah.
They are. There's an ongoing
Sideshow,
debate.
I'm right around the corner.
I was going to say, I'll fly into California. Yeah, I'll fly in once a week.
Sheesh.
I was thinking the opposite. You're so close. I'm about to send you a sign and you're going to start protesting out there.
That's right.
We won't pay shipping prices.
There's an ongoing debate in the Disney community because there's so many vloggers now. I mean, there used to be just a handful, and now there's tons and tons of vloggers. And a lot of people wanted to see these vloggers shut down. And they do a lot of live streaming and things like that. But Disney loves them. They are constantly on a daily basis for hours at a time promoting their parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For free. Why would they want to get rid of that? And so do I think the companies are really, really happy that we do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant.
I mean, you yourself had several of the companies come on the show to talk about their products with you guys.
Yep.
I think that
and
says it
send
all
me
right
stuff
there.
to review and then send on to somebody else to review. I mean, it's smart. It's smart.
Yeah. It says it all right there. They are relying on you and the other YouTubers that do this.
Yeah. I mean, what if we all quit? What would happen?
Or took a break till they do something about the shipping. Because I just feel like they're making extra on it.
Yeah. I mean,
oh yeah.
I feel like, all of these review channels are instrumental in keeping these companies going.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back and forth. I mean, you guys get your perks with the affiliate stuff and all that.
Sure. I mean, there are things, absolutely. Ad revenue and whatever. But
But yeah, I'm sure they're still saving a little bit of money. Advertising is really expensive. So
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, every time you review a piece, it tends to sell out.
Yeah. That's happened for years.
Yep.
You see it sit there for a while. Then when it starts, there's a couple people when their videos hit, a week it's gone.
So I know that we have an impact.
Yeah.
Local says we were on a break. I don't know. I don't even know where we started, where we're ending here with the price fatigue. But I mean, there is no question that I don't know how we got on the sideshow tangent, but it
Let's
is
look at
interesting.
pictures.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's look at pictures. Let's do
Good
that.
deal.
We're 90 minutes in. We should look at pictures.
We should. Let's do it.
be right back.
Ooh, what is going on there? Oh, they changed it up on me here. All right, let's see. Is this on the screen big? Let's see.
Big white box.
Now is it?
Still. Well, for me it is.
Yeah, me too. White box.
Okay.
That's what we're
All right.
showing because nobody's buying anything.
I know. Let's see.
I'll be back.
Look, they're dropping like flies. First Eric and now Matt.
Okay, now can you see this?
Yeah, we got
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. They changed the behind the scenes stuff here, so I have not used it since then, I guess. So anyway, this was, speaking of Sideshow, look how awesome this thing looks.
Yeah, it's cool.
Looks
This
great.
is Iron Spider premium format
Yep.
that they have teased. Kind of, again, why couldn't this have been a 12 Days of Sideshow thing?
Yeah.
This came out like on a random Tuesday.
Random Tuesday.
I mean, what kind of excitement do you drum up that way? Like,
That's
Uh,
true.
people have said that this looks very similar to a custom.
It does.
However, the custom was based on the art from the cover, and this is exactly what this is. So I don't feel like people were like going back and forth, like, well, they're stealing the idea. Well, no, they're not.
No.
You
They're
know
taking-
what? That drives me bananas.
Yeah.
I never fault a licensed company for flat out copying an unlicensed company.
Right.
Come on.
Where's the ethics, Jeff? Where's the ethics in that?
If I were Sideshow, I'd be stealing left and right from unlicensed custom companies.
Yep. 100%. But anyway, I think this looks sick. It looks awesome.
So sometimes they use their work, but they pay the guy. Didn't that just happen recently? We saw.
Yeah,
something-
I
it
think
was
that
the
happened.
Dark
Custom?
Knight, right?
Yep.
It was like renders for a while, and then they, I guess they paid the guy.
That's cool. So anyway, that's a teaser. We also got this teaser from PCS. This is a 1/3 scale blade. I know some people have been really excited about this.
It's awesome.
It looks really good.
This goes up tomorrow.
Yeah. So Delaney, you've been talking about this a lot. We said it has a low edition size, right?
400
Oh,
Wow, great addition. Yeah.
Wow.
goes up for pre-order tomorrow morning at Sideshow.
So are you gonna get it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it. It's really, really cool. They don't have the license for the actor's likeness, but it sure looks like them.
It sure looks like them.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's
Like
close
that
enough.
Gal Gadot Wonder Woman from Queen Studios.
Yeah.
That's not
Wow. They don't have the
So-
license for the actor's license like this?
They don't have Wesley Snipes
This
likeness.
looks just like them. How could they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think that they've changed some things. It's actually based on the video game, the Midnight. Is that Midnight Sun? Yeah,
Oh
Midnight
yeah,
Sun.
Midnight Suns. Yep.
It's based on Blade from that game. So
Wow.
they actually showed an image from it on Statue Forum, and it does look very much like the game, but it looks much better.
Yeah, which is based on Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, so the Wesley Snipes fans are really excited about this because it does look like them, and there's a lot of good switch outs. There's another portrait without the glasses, and there's other switch outs for the arms. It's got, look at that, it's got 5 vampires on
Yeah,
the
all the-
base.
Vampires.
That must be a big piece.
Third scale.
I have, yeah, it's a 1/3 scale, and I thought the dimensions of it. I think it was 20 inches wide, 15 inches deep.
Wow. That's
and
big.
30 something high. I can't remember how tall it was.
Yeah, probably
Crazy.
31 or 32. That's big.
It's
And
awesome.
I think it's going to be, I think it was 1,370 or something like that.
Wow.
So
Not
that's
bad.
that's not bad for a 1/3 these days. I mean, tomorrow the doll from Prime 1 goes up as well, and that's $11.99 for a 1/4 scale.
Well, especially with the amount of base you're getting for that price.
That's it. Yeah.
You're getting you're getting, 6 characters.
I'm surprised they did a set edition size instead of seeing like how many just come in for orders.
I love it. I'm so glad that they did.
I mean, that movie has a big cult following alone. So
Let's move on to Poison Ivy. So this was teased. We did a video on this. So this was teased and then quickly removed. But this is a Sideshow Collectibles premium format Poison Ivy. I do have some.
You know that?
I do have some inside information. I'll tell you guys off camera.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like a premium format.
But again, this is speculation that this is a premium format, just because of the way she looks. I mean, she looks like a Sideshow piece, but not officially confirmed. But I love this piece. I think it's awesome. It's kind of a throne piece in a way, but absolutely stunning.
Is that plant intended to look goofy like that?
Like it's
That's what I
smiling.
wondered. It looks like an animated character.
Yeah, it looks a little goofy. I don't know.
To me, it almost looks like it's Jokerized.
I thought maybe because she's like tickling his chin, he's making like a goofy face.
That's what I thought.
Mhm.
That's what I
That's
thought.
what I
Yeah.
thought too.
He's like it's laughing, like
It's
smile.
a little bit of whimsy.
Because it looks like it has big eyes, but they're closed.
Yeah. No, it's weird.
Anyway, I like that it's got the non-green skin because you don't see that very often anymore.
Yep.
More of a classic.
Very classic.
Yeah, classic. Beautiful. So hopefully we'll see more. This is a Superman life-size bust that was going to go up for pre-order, but then was, for whatever reason, pulled and delayed in terms of Queen Studios. So these are the 2 Henry Cavill busts. What do you guys think of the likeness? I think it's amazing.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
They pulled Henry.
Yep.
Well, I don't think that's going to stop them from selling it. But for something delayed it. Again, look at that.
I think it's the best
It
likeness.
looks just like him.
Yeah, it's the best Cavill likeness yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
question.
Every time I look at Henry Cavill, I feel like he looks different to me, so I can't even comment.
That looks really freaking good, though.
I think the hair looks pretty decent.
Looks
Again, it's
okay.
all hand punched.
See,
It is
this
that
to
more
me
tr-
looks nothing like him. The other ones where people hated it, I thought it looked more like him. I don't know. Henry Cavill has like one of those faces, like where every time I look at him, he looks different to me.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. I was gonna say that this is the more traditional bust without the arms.
Right. I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Speaking of busts, these are some in hand of the Anne Hathaway Catwoman. I think she turned out really great. Still debating on this one for myself.
She's still calling for that Uber.
Still calling for the Uber. Some people are, they've contacted me and said that they are going to try to place a gun in her hand, like the poster. And I would assume it would fit.
It seems like her hand is too close to her face to make that look right.
I was thinking the same exact thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm like, it does not look like the right position. You wouldn't hold the gun against your head.
I would think not.
That's a cell phone pose.
Yeah.
She's calling for an Uber, man.
And I'm fine with the pose because they were clever and they, it's going to be her putting her mask down.
Yeah.
So I think it's clever that they took basically the exact same pose, but obviously they weren't able to use the gun, which is funny because with the Harley Quinn, they have a gun and a bat.
I look at it as she's wearing an ear. We said this a lot. At least I said a lot. I look at it as she has like an earpiece in her ear, like a hearing thing, so she can hear Bruce. So she doesn't like communicate.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Makes
does
more sense than the gun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Or she's flipping that ear thing up or down.
Could be. This was from a collector, so I don't know how. This is supposed to come out in May.
Wow.
This is the Punchline. So it is started to ship, at least to some collectors. I don't really know how or why, but obviously she is early, and I think she's looking really great.
It has been nervous for coming early, though, with all the shipping prices we were talking about.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even want to know how much she's going to be. But I mean, I would assume she's one box, so she's going to be probably the cost of Talon.
This collector did say it was one box.
Yeah, one box. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, it's one box. Beautiful art box.
I wonder if that ponytail is attached and shipping.
I doubt it. Most of the ponytails, like all of the Harley ponytails, all key in.
What weren't they just holding it by the ponytail? Or?
What do you mean?
Because the first photo, I was like, wow, that ponytail must be strong. He's holding it by the ponytail. Go back to the first, right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. But I would imagine it's keyed in, but I could be wrong.
I still bet it's keyed in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, beautiful portraits. Really excited about this one. Yeah. And then we got some new photos today from the same collector. A little bit better photos.
Much.
Yeah, much better. Look at that.
Very rendered looking to me.
Yeah.
Not rendered. Yeah, this is.
Those other pics don't look good though.
This looks fake, like something filtered or fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. The color looks really toned up.
Yeah, they've oversaturated. They've got the contrast cranked all the way up, for sure. But the statue itself looks good.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, it looks just like the artwork, but
yeah.
Did you get this one, Dan?
I did not. I don't have a good
guys.
spot. This one's really tall. I don't have a spot for her.
Yeah, same here. She was about like an inch or 2 inches too big for my cabinet.
So anyway, we'll see if she starts shipping. I'm excited about that. So we'll find out. You guys seen this teaser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to get in less than 24 hours. We're supposed to get the full reveal. I'm really excited to see the whole thing. And truth be told, may have had some sneak peeks here and there. But this is going to be the third in a line. So we've had the Catwoman cowl, the Batman cowl. This is going to be the Penguin face. Did you guys find that a little strange?
Yep.
Yeah.
Compared to the others, yeah. Because the other ones are
head on a stick.
Head on a stick.
How does that make sense?
It's very, very strange. But I am anxious to see more from what we see here. It looks quite phenomenal.
It looks really good. But why?
It does.
I think it would have made more sense like what Sideshow did with that Joker mask. Like just do like I don't know how it will look, but maybe do like a penguin mask. I don't know. Like
that Joker mask, I believe, was made by Pure Arts, actually.
Like without the eyes or something.
Yeah,
maybe
it was.
It's a more affordable license than a bust.
It could be. But knowing that they have the license, it does make me wonder. I mentioned this to you guys earlier that I could see Infinity or Queen doing this if that license is out there.
I think if I would buy this, I would get like a mannequin body and just stick the head on top of a body.
That's what I was thinking. You could make a whole figure.
Yeah. Guess we'll see. So anyway, I'm sure I'll be doing a hit or miss video on it as soon as it's available to see it. But yeah, we don't have to wait much longer. So
I'm curious about the price.
Size mannequin and bulk it up.
I think it's going to be expensive, Jeff.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really expensive. But you can see a full top hat here.
$1,000 shipping.
Ugh. Shame on you. These are some in-hand photos. I don't feel like they're the best in-hand photos, but these are that new quarter scale from Queen, which I love the concept. It's very creepy.
Yeah, this looks good.
But the paint on the base looks good. I'm not so sure about the face sculpts. I feel like these photos are kind of washed out, but
I mean, isn't that what it was supposed to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be pretty scary.
I like the other portrait where like the face is like morphing.
That one?
No, it's literally like his mouth is like morphing into like there we go, that one.
That one.
It's creepy.
I think I like this one the best. But again, I have not seen very many collectors with
That looks
this.
good
So,
there.
yeah, I was
That
gonna say
looks good.
the texture looks good, the paint looks good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd like to see better photos, but I think it'll be a pretty good looking piece. I don't like that at all.
Is
No.
this a real thing? I mean, is this from something
I think it is, but I don't know.
besides a nightmare?
It's nothing that I've read.
No.
Dan, any idea from you?
I do not know this one.
What's that one Batman that looks like it? Blood something?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Kelly Batman?
Yeah, what was it? It's called Blood something. Delaney, you know? Is Delaney there?
Wasn't it
Bloodstorm?
Bloodstorm?
Yeah,
Bloodstorm,
Bloodstorm.
Is that what it is? I mean, it kind of looks like it. I would have to see the picture of him.
He had really, but Kelly does him with super long ears.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
Hey guys,
starting...
I apologize. Duty calls. I've got to run.
Hey, okay.
Was awesome spending time with you guys. I'll be back on my regular schedule, and we'll talk to all of you in the chat tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Sounds
See you
great.
guys.
Thanks,
Have a good
Dan.
one. See ya.
Safe travels back.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
This is the non-edited Eric B version of Wonder Woman. Eric always lightens them up so nicely, but I forgot to add that one. So this is the Wonder Woman. I'm assuming Mark Brooks,
Yeah, this is the classic Wonder Woman. They said.
Yeah.
XM Studios. So a little teaser.
Very muscular.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, very thick. This one was teased this week from Darkside. This is pretty cool. Again, Darkside Collectibles Studio. Is this quarter scale? Do you guys know? I'm assuming.
The Hobbit.
It might be third, actually.
I'm not sure.
No. You know what? It's both.
Oh, they're offering both.
Yeah.
That's great.
And this goes up Friday.
Wow, that must be big.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size.
I'm looking at
third
the
scale, and he's a big character.
Yeah, I'm looking at the dude's head he's holding. I forget his name.
Is this their first one, the Lord of the Ring line?
I believe so. Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
So that's exciting for this new license. I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like the paint looks pretty decent.
I looked up some images from the movie, and it's right on.
That's great. I like the eyes are real glassy and shiny.
Yeah.
The details, obviously, there's a lot of blood on this, so I think it's really well done. Look at that.
Yeah, that blood effect.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be two different versions because look at this. That's a clean
Doesn't
version.
look bloody.
There's a little bit of blood, but like this one, a lot of blood. Like,
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That's a cool option to have because I know a lot of collectors don't necessarily always like the blood, but others like the realism. So
yeah,
it's a cool
That's
option to
neat.
offer both ways.
I agree.
yeah, it was smart.
I mean, the thing is like the factory's going to make this. And then, just adding the blood they don't have to do anything extra other than adding the blood element. So it's pretty cool.
Right.
Smart.
So they charge extra for the blood?
Maybe. We'll see. It might. They might. It might be a deluxe version.
Or it might
So
be
here's
a
the,
smaller number of them.
Yeah, probably. This is that Henry Superman from J&D. We got there was an event recently where they kind of show him off. What is your impression, guys? I see him there, but again, I feel like that Queen Studios bust is way better.
I feel like the portrait's okay, but it's too small for the body. And I just don't like the paint job on the body.
It's really overly sprayed. Don't you feel like it's too dark?
Yes.
It reminds me of a costume.
Yeah.
You know, one of those.
Your Halloween costumes you buy.
Yeah, where they look really
Overly muscled.
exaggerated.
It does
Yeah.
look like
Yeah.
It could be the flash. I don't know. But I just feel like it. I mean, from every photo, I feel it's the same. I just feel like it's too dark to show that definition. But I feel like that portrait looks pretty good there. I do feel like it's one of their better portraits.
The portrait looks good. I just feel like it's too small for the body.
You know what? You can find images from that movie where he looks like this.
Yeah.
But to me, this is not the best that Cavill looks as Superman.
Yeah.
To me, it still looks thin. It still looks gaunt. It still looks sickly. It doesn't look right to me. So,
Which has been the complaint on all of them. I mean, all of the male
Yeah.
ones, they all make him look older. Although from some angles, I feel like he looks kind of younger.
Like they're kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, he has one of those faces. Maybe it's just made to where he just looks different every time I see him for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, if I were ever going to buy a J&D, it'd probably be Superman, but this one just doesn't work for me. And it's all about the portrait. I know that there are aspects of the costume that are not correct as well, but that would not bother me as much. It's to me, I hate that. That just drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't like this at all either.
Well, he was very sickly looking. I mean, he just came back from the dead at that point. And if they're going by the movie, a lot of that was CGI, and he didn't really look like himself anyway. So I don't know if that's what they're going off of.
I like the suit better because it's all one color.
Right.
I guess I need a Man of Steel soups instead of a Justice League soups.
You do. But anyway, it's cool to see these photos. And again, good luck to J&D. I think this one probably already sold out if it's already up for pre-order. I think it is. I can't remember.
You can still get it from distributors, no problem.
This is the town. I had to throw in a few photos. Again, thanks everybody that tuned in. Again, I was hoping Dan would still be here to wet his whistle, but really great piece.
The wrong tree.
That's right. Again, I can't recommend it enough for the folks that do want to spend that cash. Again, it is not cheap. Love the portrait with the eyes. It's just really good.
He's definitely eye-catching in the collection. That's for sure.
And I could see where he's not everybody's cup of tea. A lot of people commented. My favorite was God bless Chester. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he commented that like I have zero interest in this character. And then a few hours later, he said, "It's like, oh, if I had space, I'd get him."
He's cool and he's unique, and you don't see it. If I could do it, I would have, just because I think it's really cool and kind of like a cool Birdman kind of deal. But
yeah, well, it's something different for sure.
For me, it's the first time seeing a 1/3 scale statue with a dynamic pose, which makes me like think of that Batman versus Joker that you're getting, Chris. That's gonna look insane in person, I would imagine.
I can't wait.
Same thing to just have that character flying through the air.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And you know, if I could just buy something for the sake of it being cool, would probably be the Prime 1 Superman versus Doomsday.
Great piece.
Because that just looks crazy.
Yeah, like all those dioramas.
Yeah,
all those fighting dioramas, I would like imagine the same thing. Just seeing that size of a character like fighting in the air like that.
And the Wonder Woman, Hydra.
Yeah.
I've the three of them. But the Superman and Doomsday just seems like a comic panel brought to life.
The one you like too, the Joker Dragon, that.
Oh, I would have if I
That's a great piece.
Those all look very cool.
Like this is the Mira 3rd scale, also from J&D that we were talking about. So
I must say it this way. I think, unfortunately, this is J&D's best piece.
I think so too. I think it looks very much
for those who like the piece. Obviously, that's great.
But unfortunately, it's her.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what is the one thing that I finally figured out what it is that really bothers me is that, and you see it on the Infinity and Queen pieces, is where their hair is. Do you see all that white? The Infinity and Queen Studios shade that. Because when it looks that white, it almost looks like their hair is thin or fake. Because even some of the Harley Quinns, there's a light tan on the scalp, so it just doesn't look so stark.
That's a good observation. But I agree with Matt. I think this is one of their best pieces. But I don't know how many they'll sell, because I mean, she's kind of shunned from Hollywood. This was pretty funny.
Wolf.
Poop meme. Also had Wonder Woman on display as well. What do you guys think of this one? How's she looking?
I'm not a fan of this one as well.
I think their first one was better.
Yes.
In terms of her face.
Yeah, I don't understand the expression on this. It's not.
Yeah. I agree.
It's not attractive. It's like she just caught a whiff of something really bad. Smelling it. Like,
She's looking at me disapprovingly.
Yeah, she's slightly amused. Slightly amused.
Why
so
do I
did you
want
just
that?
cut one?
Are they using those like miniature dentures for all these pieces?
I wonder.
Because
I
I
wonder
feel like
too.
it's focusing her mouth to be a certain shape that is not her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's definitely teeth in there. I would assume.
Looks all right.
I always feel like their bodies are phenomenal. I mean, they do a great job
I
on
think
all of
that
that.
The
looks
sculpt of the
amazing.
overall piece is great.
Yeah, I mean, the shield and the simplistic base, but I think the clothing looks great.
And the gold armor one, her face, that I think that may be their best one.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, the gold one. Yeah.
I mean, that face. And again, kind of that sad, droopy.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like him though.
Yeah, I think again,
Yeah.
the tailoring looks great.
I can see him in there, but there is a little. He looks older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
It
older.
does.
But I do think that looks like him. I mean, it's, yeah, it's just for whatever reason they just always look a little older. I think this looks great.
That one looks awesome.
Yeah, that looks really great. Again, the texturing looks great. There's that Court of Owls gauntlet. So anyway, I think it's looking great from J&D. I really like that. That looks fantastic. I feel like they nailed the portrait there. Look at this insanity.
Oh my god. I
Can you believe this thing?
think it was
This is Infinity Studios, Lord of the
was,
Rings, Sauron.
Rad Titan Geo. I think brought up the point that doesn't the head look a little bit too big for the body? Maybe it's the angle.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on that
Mm.
character. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. If you look at the renders, the head doesn't look that big on the renders. Like the
I'm not even sure what it's from.
Yeah,
it's
Lord of
from,
the Rings.
Lord of the
I mean,
Rings.
without comparing it side by side, I feel like it looks like it could be accurate enough.
These are the
Of course,
boxes.
Holy
if you're
cow.
buying something that expensive and big, it needs to be exact.
Yeah.
How much do you think shipping is on this guy?
You need your own
You
truck.
have to
More
ask.
than
You
I can
can't
afford.
afford it.
Oh my God, it's insane.
The
Here
price
he is.
of a 2-year-old Kia.
See, they
Here he
look a
is.
little better, so maybe it was the angle.
It might be. Here he is next to some other life-size bust from Infinity.
It's just insane.
To give you an idea.
That's crazy.
I threw these in here. Prime One actually has listened to collectors, and they've updated a few things on the Rock. I don't know if that'll help sell any, but they went from the yellow lighting to the more white lighting, which is more accurate, which I thought was cool.
And they're going to include the day after James Gunn took over DC.
Yeah. They have removed the cloak. So instead of it being a hooded cloak, now it's just a cape.
So you don't get both?
Nope. So this is the new cape. You can see the texture. I think it looks great.
I like when
but there's no longer the hood because the hood was just in that first scene.
Yeah, I like that scene. Though. That was like the best scene in the movie.
I like actually with the cloak on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting rid of that, and they've added the accessory part, the crown. So a little tiny accessory. But there's what the cape looks like on. So I did want to show collectors that have maybe ordered this or are considering it because it might change your mind. They've also added the headstand.
That's good.
So
I
feel like they've done a really nice job of updating this. Although again, I could see the cloak being taken away might piss off some people, but at the end of the day, they are adding some things. So it's a nice trade-off in my opinion. This is from McFarlane's. This is like the size of their black and whites, but it's the brand new Harley. I thought this one was fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
With the Puppet Master, with the puppets. So I thought that was fun, cute.
I like that when McFarlane picked that license up, their ones that they were finishing off that DC Direct started look exactly like a DC Direct piece.
Yeah,
There's no loss of quality or anything.
Yeah, it's so nice that they picked those up because I know there's so many collectors really wanted to see that finished out. I want to give a shout out to Emmanuel. He was our winner for the Batsy Awards, so I just wanted to include him on the show in case people are not on Facebook. So anyway, I want to thank Todd again at Spec for the incredible giveaway. And congratulations again on Emmanuel. And thank you, everybody that tuned in for the Batsies. It was an awesome show. And can't wait till next year. Here's some in-hand photos. And I think this looks really good of the Christian Bale half scale. Initially, we got some not so great photos. Do you guys think that looks a little bit better there? That didn't sound real confident.
I'm thinking. I don't know.
I think it looks. I think it looks good.
It looks better when you see it on the actual body.
Yeah. Half scales are just not my thing.
Yeah.
It
But
must be a big computer screen.
yeah, I think it's a TV.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
We have a new Mr. T Clubber, of course, from Rocky. Was it Rocky 3?
Yep.
If I remember right. So this is from PCS. What do you guys think of this likeness?
Better than the initial photos they released.
Oh, yeah, they were awful.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool.
I think it looks pretty good.
I like it. Yeah.
It's going to pair well with the Rockies they did.
Yeah, there was a lot of attention on the Rocky pieces at the PCS booth in San Diego. So I know talking with Aunt Adams, of course, he was excited about these. And so if you're a Rocky fan, or just a boxing fan in general.
Low edition sizes on these too. It's like 325 around there.
Fun fact about the Batman statue collector, I actually saw him in person at the WWE Hall of Fame. I watched him go into the Hall of Fame, and he talked so long about his mama, and I kid you not, that they actually had to pull him off stage.
Yeah, he can go on. I heard him in an interview. He's actually very intelligent when he speaks.
He is super intelligent, but man, he went on forever.
I can beat you on that one, Chris.
Okay.
Jeff Ford.
I stood next to him at the next urinal in a restroom at Comic-Con.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Did you say anything to him?
He was talking to the whole room the whole time.
That's hilarious. In the bathroom.
Come to our booth 24/17. Yeah, he was very energetic.
That's awesome. He seems
He's
like he seems like a cool guy.
I met Scott
Yeah,
Snyder in the bathroom.
That's funny.
I did.
This is a screenshot from Art Statue Collector. I want to give him a shout out. If you haven't checked out Art Statue Collector's channel, please do so. One of the coolest displays around. This is really cool to see the future Hulk that's going in the Secret Sanctuary next to the quarter scale. Just because that's a big piece in itself. It's crazy.
So Art was in the chat earlier. If
Oh,
he's
hi,
still there. Art, I've watched your LBS Hulk video like 12 times. He did a great job on that.
He did. He always does such a great job. So again, please check out his channel if you haven't done so, guys. But just massive. These are some screenshots or some photos posted today by the Flankster channel. What do you guys think? I mean, these are some better in-hand photos.
I haven't watched yet, but do you still have it on pre-order? What's going on with you?
I do still have it on pre-order. Some of his biggest critiques of this piece were that the neck down
Oh yeah,
is all sculpted. It is not silicone.
okay, but
the arm holding the bat is silicone, and the arm holding this arm or the other arm is also silicone, but the hand looks like this.
I heard, I don't know if it was this, but I don't know if we went over it, that they had to change it because it wasn't holding the weapon. Like it was too flimsy. With the
Couldn't hold the weight.
Yeah.
Those nails don't look good at all.
It looks awful.
Yeah.
There's no paint.
$4,000.
Yeah. $4,000. Again, from a distance, I think she looks phenomenal.
Yeah. From there, she looks great.
Although I thought originally I heard it was she couldn't hold on to the bat. Or I could have been wrong.
Well, there's like a wedge that goes in her shoulder. So that helps hold the bat up.
Yeah. So maybe it was the gun.
I think that's why they did it. But I still think they could have like attached silicone fingers into the glove.
Yeah.
And made that look better because this looks bad.
Yeah.
Well, they can engineer that. Maybe somehow put wires or something.
Here's kind of a Photoshop of what his collection looks like, but you can see the size of Harley compared to the Batman that I had. And I am getting the Joker, but I still do have her on pre-order. Do you guys?
She looks small compared to all the others, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it's the perspective of the photo. She's
very comparable to the other female busts from other companies, though. So I feel like, she is in line. I mean, this Batman's massive. I mean, you remember my reaction to how big it was, but
And she is further back, but
yeah.
looking at Anne Hathaway, I guess they're about. Oh,
And this is a Photoshop.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought this photo is funny. So the chest, the whole, again, it's all sculpted. It's not fabric or anything. So that was a critique of his.
I mean, unless you're displaying it with the shirt up, I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either. Doesn't bother me any. But I don't know. I still feel like I probably will keep the pre-order and at least review her. I just don't know. I feel like I need
Outside the hand, she looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
I mean,
I don't know. It's
take
just hard. It's $4,000,
put a whole glove on her hand to hide those fingers.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll move on. Look at this thing. Isn't that incredible?
That likeness is amazing.
It's
Yeah.
one of the best likenesses I've ever seen
crazy.
on anything. But this is the 1/6 scale in art. Just incredible.
I feel like it's a photo of him.
Yeah,
it
it
does.
really does. I mean, that's
Their Joker looks good. I saw watched some videos of people that have got that in. They're in art figure of the Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I think if I am correct, I believe I'm going to be receiving a copy of that. So I'm anxious to kind of see in hand what all the hype's about. But I just have been really impressed. I mean, look at that. I mean, that could easily be a life-size bust, and it's 6 scale.
Yeah, like Matt said, it looks realistic.
So good,
Mhm.
so good.
The Legos was good too. Is that the same
Yeah.
company?
Same company, yeah. It's Queen Studios. It's the offshoot brand in art.
Which one? Who did the Legos? Like, what was that? Prime?
That was Infinity
Infinity
Studios
Studios,
that
there you
made the half scale.
Half scale,
I
yeah.
think it's half scale.
Yep.
Mhm.
So anyway, we got some in-hand photos of the Superman versus Darkseid that we were talking about earlier.
Cool.
One thing I really love, so the image on the left, you could see this red band
Oh yeah.
around his cape, and that's the way they originally teased it, and then they updated it and they painted it blue. And then the final version, they actually fixed it. They went back and actually fixed it so there was no seam line, there was nothing. It's just the cape would tuck into his suit like it's supposed to. So
I think that was Stuart. I don't know if he's in the chat, but I think Stuart painted his, and then they listened to the feedback and changed it, which is kind of odd because I now I kind of feel bad for all the people that got it originally with the red going all the way around.
he did not paint it. That
I
was
thought he painted his.
No, he talked about it that Prime 1 painted it.
Oh,
But the final version is the one that's on the right. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
so now if you received one of those earlier batches, like
This is just starting to ship.
I would be kind of mad if I.
Yeah,
that
no one's got it, Eric. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no one's got it yet.
That was the pre-order picture.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. They never shipped it like this.
Gotcha.
This is the Dark Knight Returns box. Kind of a different style box
Oh, wow.
that Sideshow's doing for this one.
That's
Again,
a
the
big
big
box,
the
too.
big giant box. Again, the big breaking news is that they're using straps. I, for one, again, I know a lot of the collectors really, really hope this is something they continue to do because I think the straps are really way better than the tape.
Yeah.
And a lot easier, a lot classier. So I really tip my hat to
And
Sideshow.
if you sell it, it's easier than trying to tape it back.
Yep, 100%.
Yep.
But he's looking great. I can't wait to get mine in.
I think it looks amazing.
It came out real nice.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that Batman.
Me either, but I just felt
He's
like
a
I had
little
to have
beaten
it.
up.
Yeah, look at it. It's pretty gnarly.
But that's just the texturing, the suit and everything came out really
Mhm.
nice.
There you can see kind of the size of him with other premium formats.
Shazam!
Yeah, that's right. I thought this was interesting. They had him around the fifth scales from Star Wars, and I didn't feel like he looked too massive next to them.
I actually like that setup. It looks cool.
Yeah, I did too.
I've seen a couple of those. They hold their own with quarter scale.
They do. They're not quite
Yeah.
as big as quarter, but they're they definitely have a lot going on with those. They're incredible. This has started to ship as well. This is the Fabok piece, just like the Superman, but this is the Wonder Woman versus the Hydra Snake. This is looking incredible.
See the Hydra stank?
Snake.
The Hydra stank.
The Hydra stank.
Puts up stank on it.
Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints about that one at all.
I haven't either. This is that. I just thought this was an interesting photo. It kind of shows you the size comparison between the Joker Dragon and the Harley.
Okay.
Pretty massive.
Yeah,
it is.
So awesome, though. This is a new art print by Jason Edmondson. How do I say it? Edmiston.
Edmiston.
I don't know. Anyway, it's a fine art print. It's a take on the Brian Boland Joker, of course, from Killing Joke. This one, I believe, is already up for pre-order.
It is.
I was wondering if this was going to sell out quickly or not.
It's 300. The only thing is, like, I would rather just have the Brian Boland, because it's just a copy of it, really. I just don't really understand. Speaking of Stuart Murray, Murray. Yeah, sorry, Murray. Stuart Murray. This is he took the Queen Studios marble statue and painted it more traditional colors, and I think it's okay, but I think I still prefer the marble. What do you guys think?
I do too.
Yeah, I like the marble.
Yeah.
But it's still cool that he did it. I mean, it's still something neat. It's definitely
one of those
unique
things you wonder about. Would it have looked better painted? Now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't just paint it. He had all the cracks filled in and everything from the marble.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, I mean, he definitely took a risk
Answered
there.
Question.
But
everybody wondered.
Yep.
Now we know.
I'm about to do the opposite to my Talon base and make the base marble.
Are you going to do that for real?
I keep thinking about it. If I knew I was keeping that for life, I would do it. I just fear if I ever had to sell it, would the next person care that I did that?
Well, I mean, there it is. I forgot I had these in here, but I would just paint the owl head white.
So what I did do is like last night I was using a white circular, board, whatever you want to call it, on top of the turntable. I did put it inside the display because I do like the white, having like a splash of white on the base.
That's cool.
So I have like this sub base of white around it. Kind of looks like the marble floor, at least.
Well, you don't have to worry about it rotating in your display. There's no room in there. No room in there.
Raise him up so he can fit in.
These are some photos. I don't feel like they're the best photos, but they are the third scale Batman versus Superman third scale from Prime 1. These are some of the head sculpts.
They look a little cartoonish.
I think do. Like the art, but
I feel like they're kind of blown out. But it is based on Frank Miller, so I don't know if that's why. It's kind of his style.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
But I don't know. I'm anxious to see more because I'm not really impressed with that at all.
I think it looks good.
But I mean, there it is on the statue, so it looks better there. So we'll see. Did you guys see this collection?
Wow.
I think so.
Is this not insane?
Oh, yeah. There's that bat. What's it called? Bat pod, whatever.
The bat. The bat pod. I mean, but look how
crazy.
Life
size? What is that thing?
Yeah, it's life size.
No.
Yes,
that's not life size.
Or
surely not.
It's big.
I bet that's half scale.
I mean, but these are all life size busts.
Maybe so.
I feel like the real one was still bigger, but
I feel like the real one would have been.
It's a big room,
really long.
But I mean, look at the life size figures in the background here.
That's just insane.
He's got all these Michael Jackson figures back there, Iron Man, all of these life size busts that haven't even been released yet, or are just being released. You got all the Infinity.
It's insane.
You got the entire Queen Studios set up.
Damn.
In quarter scale. Here's more of those busts. All the Queen Studios busts. It's really impressive. Look at that.
That is insane.
So anyway, I just had to show you guys.
Davy Jones down there.
Yeah, that's a custom Davy Jones.
Like what's that dude's name? Back to the Future.
Yeah, Marty and Doc.
Yeah, Doc. Oh, I didn't see Marty.
So anyway, this is, just an incredible collection room. Just insane. I just had to share that. This was a side-by-side comparison of the Queen Studios
Dark Side.
Dark Side, and that's the Iron Studios Thanos. So just that was just a comparison to see how they pair up. This is the Donatello, right?
Yeah.
PCS. This one went up for pre-order recently.
Those look really cool.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Did they have any of those at San Diego?
Yes.
Yeah.
They had. Were they both unpainted? I can't remember, Jeff.
Yeah.
One was painted and one was unpainted.
Okay. But they were awesome.
I feel like these would have so much presence in person.
Yeah, they were in their third
They
scale, so they're just massive.
Yep.
They're really, really good. I know Ant was really excited about these. They'll do well, I'm sure. I'm sure they're selling really well.
I think Raphael's already on a wait list.
Really? That doesn't surprise me. These are gonna look so good together.
Mm-hmm. It was the Kucherov brothers that did that, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
This is that third scale Superman design concept that we were talking about earlier.
It's got that forced perspective, but I do love Kingdom Come.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Again, third scale. So it'll be kind of along the lines of Hush. Kind of has that same feel to it. So we'll see. And they also had a Wonder Woman shown recently. This is a 1/10 scale, though. Make it one hell of a third scale.
I wonder why they chose to do her in 10th and the others were in 3rd.
I
don't know.
wondered the same.
Yeah, I
Seemed
really don't know.
weird.
Unless maybe they have another one in mind. I don't know.
Is this a Kingdom Come Wonder? It's not Kingdom Come Wonder Woman, though, is it?
Is she in that story?
I don't think so. This is their prime scale. I think it's funny they call it prime scale. But this is the Batman. So again, 1/3 scale. We'll see how that turns out. Again, these are just drawings.
Is that the one from when they did that contest?
They've never done anything with that, and that was actually Queen
That was
Studios.
Queen Studios.
Queen.
Yeah, Queen Studios. They never did anything with it.
It kind of looks like one of those that they had.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what it turns out like. This I love. This is the Alita Battle Damage or Battle Angel from Prime 1.
That's a cool portrait.
Isn't that beautiful?
It really is.
And then you just have this great explode. I mean, look at that.
It's huge.
Isn't that awesome?
It's a whole
What a cool
lot of it.
diorama. I think that's definitely should end up on the Batsies next year. Really cool piece. And again, that portrait is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
And guys, Wonder Woman is definitely in Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
She's in there.
But that's not the
That
one they're
was
going
not
to do,
the
though.
Wonder Woman.
No. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it's
The
not the
question
one they're
is
doing.
why?
Yeah. This is King Shark, of course, from Suicide Squad. This is, I believe, started to maybe ship. I love this photo. This is the guy that played him.
That's cool.
Of course, he's also on the Peacemaker show as well.
Okay.
So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it just goes to show you how big it is too.
That's tempting just to have on my desk at work.
I know, he's so fun. Look at that.
Totally.
He's a lot of fun. Great shot from Sideshow that just put this up this week of some of the villains from Tweeterhead. I just thought the shot was really cool.
Some of their best work. This
Yeah.
line.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
line's
those look
awesome.
great.
This is all David Igo right here and the folks at Tweeterhead. Just phenomenal work. Look at this.
Perfect.
Perfect. I mean, that's again perfection. We talked about in art. This is Hot Toys, but I feel like they really captured the eyes, which is the most important part. But this is I've learned some things. This is not a reissue. This is a 2.0. So basically a brand new figure. Silicone body parts, which is interesting. I think it looks really good.
And they did. There's the jacket is supposed to be much nicer. The coat.
It looks good. And the only thing people complain about is there's still a line with the hand. They wish that they could have been like, but I mean, you can't change it out then.
Right.
I'm not sure how you avoid that.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, especially if you have the coat, you can cover it. But yeah, I don't know how you can avoid it either.
Put a bracelet on him.
But sure looks good to me. I had the Eon Flux as well. This was teased back at Sideshow Con, I believe, that this is now out for pre-order. I think it's a really cool piece. I really like it. I remember thinking how strange this cartoon was back in the day. But
they're darkening the hair.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they said the brown wasn't accurate, so it's more black now.
Okay. That's great that they're listening to feedback. Again, just very interesting pose. It's
I just noticed her hair. She must use a lot of hairspray.
well, it was very stylized in the show.
Yeah.
It's defying gravity.
Again, this is third scale, so you can only imagine how big this thing's going to be. But pretty unique piece for sure. This piece has started to ship. This is that monstrous, pun intended, Godzilla versus King Kong from Prime 1. Look at this thing.
Oh, wow.
Just insane. But
That
can't wait to
was
see
like
more.
$5,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, combined, it's just crazy. It had all these LED light up features, as you can see. But again, it's just starting to ship, so I'm sure we'll see more as we go. But wanted to show those. This is one that we saw teased on Prime 1, and I really liked this one. This was also Alita. I'm not familiar with this at all, but I thought it looked really good on display at their store.
It's if I heard it correctly, it's an image from the book where they gathered some of the issues together, and this was just an image like in the leaf of the book.
That's cool.
That's what I've heard.
I feel like it's a beautiful looking piece.
Yeah, definitely.
And then it has this extra swap out bonus part. So anyway, just cool to see it on display. Here's another shot of art. Again, this is the third scale from Legendary Beast. Sorry, Legendary Beast. I'm starting to get tired. Legendary Beast versus the quarter scale Hulkbuster. It's pretty insane.
That is crazy.
See these two side by side, and of course, only art would have them that way.
That's nuts.
You can see if you go back. I just noticed it. On his shelf, he has the torsos next to the Affleck bust.
Yeah,
and that bust is insanely big. So it just goes to show you,
like almost a little bit.
Yeah,
bigger.
it's gonna make room in the sanctuary, my friend.
You bet. You bet.
Whew. So that's our photos.
Some good stuff.
Alrighty.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Oh man, I had the darn banner up the whole time. Sorry guys, that wasn't price fatigue the whole time, but
it's okay.
Well, good show tonight, guys. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up? I know it's been a long evening.
No, I got pizza waiting.
All right. Stay for a minute after the show real quick before you leave. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody. 237 people still watching. Thank you guys. This is awesome for our little Wednesday night tradition here on Rogues Gallery Live. I want to thank the crew here. I want to thank Dan again for being here earlier. Again, just thank you guys so very much for continuing to support channels like myself or All Things Art or Secret Sanctuary or Art Statue Collector, any of the guys we mentioned tonight. It really does help because I love this community. I love what you guys do for the community. Thank you for being a part of it. Felt like the show was awesome tonight and really enjoyed the conversation. So please do me a favor. Have a great evening. Check out Eric's video on talent today at All Things Art. Check out my review as well if you haven't seen it already. And again, like Chris and Logan says, hit the like. Really appreciate that very, very much. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time right here in the Batcave. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Night, guys.